This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is the news review right here. We bring you all the relevant stories making waves in the news. I am your host, Ruth Esenam Fiakbedu, and I'll be serving you breakfast this morning with Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning to you, ladies, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
The grace is sufficient.
We thank God. Hope the rain didn't deal with you yesterday.
No.
You went on cry before. Yesterday you were telling me that the way they were there. Say you, we are men. Why? Now say is the Wi-Fi that pulled me back. Miss Regina.
Yeah.
Hope you slept well.
I did.
Yeah. Today the weather was very cozy, and I was also thinking, hey, if it's raining by this time, then what about those that will be going to work early in the morning as well, because you know some areas will be flooded, definitely. Even if it is drizzling, some places are flooded. And we are getting closer to the rainy season, so, you know, NADMO and all the agencies that have to do what they have to do it, so that we don't experience cases like we did last year. Right, we are going to be delving into our news items for this morning. For our first story, governments could lose nearly 500 million Ghana cedis a month for every 1 cedi cut from fuel taxes. Governments could lose close to 500 million every month for every 1 cedi reduction in fuel taxes, following plans to suspend some levies to ease rising fuel prices. The decision, announced after cabinet discussions, is aimed at cushioning consumers as global crude oil prices increase due to tensions involving the US, Israel, and Iran. Currently, taxes and margins make up a significant part of fuel prices in Ghana. Out of an average petrol price of about 13 cedis 30 pesos per liter, roughly 4 cedis 20 pesos Ghana cedis goes into taxes and margins. That's about 31% of the total cost. For diesel, taxes account for about 24%. The biggest component is the energy sector shortfall and debt recovery levy, ESLA, which stands at about 1 cedis 95 pesos per liter. Other taxes like the energy fund levy, road fund levy, and special petroleum tax also contribute to the overall cost. Margins, which are shared among institutions such as the National Petroleum Authority, Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company, and Petroleum Hub Development Corporation, cover costs like fuel distribution and storage. For example, consumers pay a distribution fee to transport fuel across the country, as well as charges meant to maintain strategic fuel reserves. There is also the Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund, which was created to keep fuel prices uniform nationwide, but has increased significantly over the years. However, reports by the Africa Center for Energy Policy suggest that some of these funds are now being used for additional purposes, including supporting fuel for security agencies and certain government operations. The big question now is how governments will balance reducing fuel prices with the potential loss of revenue, especially since these taxes contribute directly to the national budget. Yeah, so it is said that government is going to be losing nearly 500 million Ghana cedis a month for every 1 cedi cut from fuel taxes. Yeah, I believe we already saw in the news that fuel prices have increased due to the Middle East conflict, and then due to that, consumers and drivers are calling for some fuel taxes to be reviewed, or better still, should be scrapped. The government had a cabinet discussion, and due to that, they are going to be reviewing some particular levies. And this is coming from an analyst who says that governments will be losing 500 million Ghana cedis every month if even 1 cedi is cut from this fuel taxes. But well, should the government go on that tangent by making the consumers and drivers and whoever consume fuel also, have that kind of relief? This is actually a big sacrifice that the government is actually doing. But looking at the money we are also losing as well, that is also generating revenue to the government. Do you think that that is the right path the government is also taking? Because mind you that we may not see the effects of this loss of money right now, but in future we might see that. Is this sacrifice worth it to create relief for the consumers? Ms. Regina, your thoughts on this, please.
Okay, so I would say it's necessary, and it's necessary in the sense that whatever the government are planning or whatever they are doing it to make sure that the consumers, passengers, drivers are relieved financially. So I think it's a great call, and it's in the interest of the people. The government can't always get everything glossy. So if they are trying their best to cut down some levies, I think is a good thing. Looking at the e-levy, looking at the COVID, it was generating money, but at the end of the day, it was scrapped. But looking at some of the taxes they want to take off, I believe they are doing it because of this Middle East conflict. If it wasn't for the Middle East, and at the end of the day, fuel prices skyrocketing, we will still be paying any of these taxes. So for Ghanaians to be relieved, I think is a good thing.
Miss Debbie?
So looking at the whole incident, it tells us that the D-levy is very significant. And as it stands now, the levy, they've not declared whether they'll scrap that levy. They are yet to tell us which type of taxes they are going to take off. So we have a lot of taxes, even from what we read. We have the road fund levy, we have the energy fund levy, we have the special petroleum tax. All these are taxes that we pay on our fuel.
We have 12 taxes on fuel.
Yes. All these are taxes that we are going to pay. So they are yet to announce to us which of these taxes will be scrapped. And then per the statement, all these taxes has a role to play. All these taxes generate an amount of money or revenue for the country, whether per monthly or per yearly. So it means that any of these taxes that will be scrapped, we should bear it in mind that it's going to come with its consequences. But I think the main emphasis is on the D-levy. The D-levy, because it means that we are going to lose 500 million on one per cedi. So it means that if we are scrubbing this levy away, it means per 1 cedi by the population of Ghana and in a day, the people that are purchasing that fuel, that is the amount of money we are losing. But for me, from where I see it, I don't see the government scrubbing the D-levy. They will scrub other taxes, but not the D-levy.
But not the D-levy. Because there are actually other taxes which are even more than the D-levy.
Yes,
so I don't know why people are calling for the D-levy to be cancelled.
Especially the minority.
Especially the minority. And they're also waiting for the government to come and account to the people about that particular levy.
Also, the D-levies can't be scrubbed because just listen to what is being stated. When we scrub it, on each one city we are getting like 5 million. So just imagine per month, per a year, the revenue we are accumulating as a country. And that this D-levy is not just a levy that was introduced or brought on board just to impose something on the citizen. One is going to use to pay the debt of we are owing in our energy sector, and it's also used to buy the liquid fuel from other countries. It is also used to fix the infrastructure deficit in the energy sector. So it should tell you that this D-levy, as small as it is, has a lot of branches that it's supporting. So if this D-levy is being cancelled, it will go like massively against us. So definitely the energy minister will come out, because as it stands now, he's collaborating with the Minister of Finance. They will come out. But as for the D-levy there, those who are having it in mind that the D-levy will be scrapped, I'm not sure. It's going to come as a blow. I'm not sure they're going to scrap it, but they'll scrap other taxes.
Well, we are waiting for the government to let us know which of the taxes that will be reviewed and which of them will be scrapped. But as Ms. Debbie said, for her, in her opinion, she doesn't think that the government will scrap the 1 cedi levy. Moving on, this is a call from the minority. NDC spending on party structures while cocoa farmers suffer. The minority in parliament is accusing the ruling National Democratic Congress, the NDC, of prioritizing political spending over the welfare of cocoa farmers. The concern was raised by Minority Chief Whip and MP Frank Anot-Dompre following engagement with farmers during a nationwide tour of cocoa growing communities. According to him, many farmers are currently facing serious challenges, including low cocoa prices and delays in payments, which are affecting their livelihoods. He described the situation as worrying, especially at a time when farmers are struggling. Yet, there are claims that public funds are being used to support party structures. Mr. Anot-Dompre is therefore calling on government to shift its focus and prioritize the cocoa sector, which remains a key part of Ghana's economy. He is urging authorities to restore fair cocoa prices and ensure that farmers are paid on time to ease their financial burden. The minority also says it will continue to advocate for cocoa farmers until their concerns are addressed. So this is from the minority, and this one, it looks like an accusation. It actually sounds like an accusation coming from the NPP. And this time around, they are accusing the NDC of spending on party structures while cocoa farmers are actually suffering. So in actual sense, what are they trying to say? Are they trying to say that the money that they are supposed to use to pay the cocoa farmers, the NDC is using it to put their party in place, or what? Ms. Debbie, is that a meaning you also draw from the statement?
That is what they are trying to insinuate, that the money that is supposed to be used in sorting the challenges for these cocoa farmers, they are using it to sort their party, their internal structures. For the structures they are talking about, it involves a lot. But you see, I feel like when you try to politicize everything, it gets to a time where you speak and you don't even make sense. And the most painful aspect is that you don't even realize it yourself. And that is what the MPP is doing. So do you think when we have the money, the government is capable enough, and then cocoa farmers are crying, or they are pouring out their grievances that this is the amount they want to be paid, and then you feel the government is so wicked that he's not going to pay them and he's going to lay his hand on those money. I know that we have corrupt leaders, okay, but not to that extent. Now here lies the case. The crisis with cocoa, we are not the only country facing it.
Mm-hmm.
The government, through stakeholders and the right authorities, met with these cocoa farmers, and then they spoke, and then they told them that this is not a challenge that is being faced by Ghana alone. It's being faced by other countries that are also into this cocoa business. And here lies the case. When you go to the international market, it is something that is evident enough for you to see that this is the challenge that is ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
So if yes, it is true, we've promised you that this is the amount of money that we want to give it to you. But when we came into power, we realized that this is the issue at hand. And the government was sincere enough to tell you that this is the situation at hand. We are trying our possible best. We will not be able to give you the amount we promised, but at least we will give you half of that money. And we also promise that when things get going on its right path, we are going to fix things out. And then they understand. So why is it that the MPP keeps dragging this whole issue?
I think this whole cocoa issue has actually died off, but it's rather the
yes,
NPP
they are reviving it, and now they are calling it a toy. They are toying communities, cocoa farming communities. They are convincing these people. They are trying to impose something on the farmers, like for them to believe that the government is capable, just that they don't want to do it. That is what they are trying to say. That the money is there and the government is using it for something else. Why would you say such a thing? And so they use party money for other mischievous purposes. It should be the MPP, not the NDC. So do you even have evidence?
Exactly.
Do you have evidence that shows that?
That is one thing we should be also looking at, because if you make allegations, you need to come clean.
This is a pure allegation without evidence. Okasatra, like tap water. You don't have evidence.
But wait, is the government different from the NDC?
Which government?
The government on grounds right now. Is it different from the NDC? Because I think, in my opinion, that the party is way different from
the MPP,
from the government in power now. We know the NDC government is actually in power, but it's like they've actually separated themselves from the party because they believe that they're actually here for the people, but not here for just NDC people. I don't know if you get what I'm. So why is it that we are saying that they've reduced the prices to go and sort out their party structures?
It's so,
or is that something that the NDC are doing that we are not seeing?
Sure. If they are doing something, the MPP should be bold enough to tell us that this is what they are doing. What they are doing right now is cutting corners. So if I feel like I've seen you maybe taking something that does not belong to you, and then they come asking that, oh, maybe Regina something is missing or Q something is missing, and then I came out boldly to say that it is SNM, I should have evidence that shows that indeed you are the one doing it. And with that confidence, I should be able to prove myself right. But with what the MPP is doing, it's just politics. It is, but I feel like they are going too far, because the government was able to solve this particular cocoa issue. And then he made them understand that it is not our fault. And let's not forget that when the MPP was leaving power, they didn't tell the NDC the actual shall I say the actual issue on ground. They were not sincere enough to the NDC. The NDC got in, they got to power, and then they realized that what we were being told and what we are seeing is totally different.
It's totally different.
So why then will you go back and then make it look as if the NDC, they are lying, but you've forgotten that you are the chief mother serpent of all lies? So for me, what the MPP is doing is just for politics.
It's just for politics. Because even if NDC is still putting structures in place, it's for the benefit of the whole country, but not just for NDC alone. And message Gina.
So looking at what the NPP are saying, I wouldn't say it's politics. Me too, I won't say otherwise. I believe they have the interest of the cocoa farmers at heart. But let's all be factual at times. because first off, the government sacrificed a whole lot to make sure that at the end of the day, the farmers are at least receiving something, in as much as it wasn't to the expectation, because they were expecting more. And also the CEO of the cocoa board and also the senior staffs also made sacrifices, where in all of the history of Ghana, I've not heard of any staff making such sacrifice to support the government. But they went if anything, as far as possible to make sure that these people are comfortable. And now to the MPPs or to the person saying this, I feel like you need to come out with evidence.
What evidence?
It is high time we discipline the MPPs. We know that they're in opposition, and being in opposition comes with criticism. But when we talk of allegations, we need allegations with facts. We need allegations with evidence. It's just like Reverend Intim Fojo alleging of drugs being in a plane, and at the end of the day was false. So we need evidence. You are saying the NDC is using government money to restructure, to finance their structuring. So where is the receipt of what you are saying? We would believe you when we see the receipt. We wouldn't believe if it's just mere talks. And as Ms. Debbie said, it's becoming cheap talk when it comes to the NPP. And I think it's getting out of hand. So if they want to stay relevant, they should support, they should contribute solutions, and not, if anything, escalate the problem.
Exactly. They shouldn't escalate the issue rather, but they should provide solutions. The money that they are using to rent the VIP buses and be going to these places, that money you can use to buy rice, oil, and distribute to these people, and they'll remember you for that. But you are following propaganda, so you want to go and feed the people with. In fact, they should be arrested for misinformation. Free primary health care policy to remove cost barriers. Government has announced a new policy to make basic health care services free for all Ghanaians at the primary level. The Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta Akando, says the free primary health care initiative will remove financial burdens and improve access to essential health services across the country. Under the policy, services at ship compounds, health centers, and polyclinics will be provided at no cost. This includes preventive, promotive, and basic treatment services. According to the minister, the goal is not to just treat illness, but to focus more on prevention by bringing health care closer to communities and households. To access the service, individuals will only need to show a valid Ghanaian ID. The program will also be linked to the National Health Insurance Scheme, helping to enroll more people who are currently not covered. The policy is expected to significantly expand healthcare access and is scheduled to be officially launched on April 15th, 2026. Do you think that free healthcare is actually achievable in Ghana here? Because, right, you let me hear from Ms. Regina first before I come along with my comments.
So with the free healthcare, I would say it's a good thing, because in every country you need to it's just like administering first aid, which is free. So in every country we need to prioritize it and make sure that our individuals have it. There are some hospitals, there are some work institutions that have partnership or that have collaborated with health facilities, and at the end of the day, the institution covers the cost of the healthcare for their workers. So let's say you are in GhanaTalks Radio institution where you feel sick. They drive you to the hospital. Whatever drugs, whatever testing they have to do, you will do it and walk out freely. You wouldn't pay anything. It will be on the institution, and it's something which is normal. But the issue is the effective implementation, because we've seen this kind before. That is the NHIS, National Health Insurance Scheme. We've seen it before. I still have my card, but anytime you feel off and you go to the hospital, even para, they want to take money. And mind you, I feel like they need to come out and explain to us what this health free healthcare would cover. I think I saw most of them, because during the era of NHIS it was bad. Sometimes you can go, they'll give you just para, then they'll write your friend saying Indrono tin for you. Either you buy it in the hospital. Sometimes they even tell you say buy it there because of the money they'll get. And because it's free, they add some charges to it. And for some hospitals, it doesn't work at all. They'll tell you say had dear NHIS and Yejuma. And I understand them, because they can't keep on administering free healthcare to the people while the government is not paying. So we're talking about free healthcare. It's not free just like that. Nothing comes for free. Everything that is free has a price. And the price is the government settling the debt, or making sure that at the end of the month, the money which is supposed to be allocated to each and every hospital is being paid or is being fulfilled. So we should not expect free if the government is not doing their part of it. Yeah.
We shouldn't expect free if the government is not doing their part of it. Even if you have money, they tell you that there's no bed. NHIS.
How much more is free?
So how much more is free? And this free primary health care, which hospitals are going to be in charge?
I'm sure it's most 90% of them will be the government hospitals. And probably the private will be just one.
Because you will not go to a hospital like the one I know as La Paz and go and say that you want free primary. Please, I beg you. Then say that you want free health care. That one there, it will not work. Even NHIS safe, as you mentioned, it only covers your card. Even that one safe, you pay like 20 cedis or 50 cedis. So if Miss Debbie, they are jokers.
So the NHIS, I think, is still in the system. NHIS is not being cancelled, but
yes.
with the free primary health, it's just to expand it to reach, a
larger amount of people.
Yes, and a larger community. Now, when we talk about NHIS, what is NHIS? NHIS basically means that, like, a card that will give you access to free treatment. Free treatment.
Why?
Your facial expression was communicating something as if you wanted to ask a follow-up question.
Yeah.
But I wanted to land first.
All right.
So with that, it means that the government is going to cover the expenses, but not fully the
so a percentage.
Exactly, a percentage.
Yes.
But that NHIS was brought during Kufuor's administration. But it got to a time it wasn't so effective because I feel like the government wasn't paying his part. So you have the card, you get to the hospital, and then the amount you are paying, it looks as if NHIS and cover share. But first, NHIS covers a lot. And sometimes the bed you are talking about, you don't really pay for the bed. And sometimes some drugs. I can't remember those times when you even go to the hospital, you don't even pay much. They give you something small. And now when you go to hospital, you catch your lab test. By the time you're done with the lab test, you've paid like 200 for only lab test too. Before whatever is being discovered, you will need to buy drugs on that. And the most serious aspect is that when they tell you that they will admit you, just be preparing for something like 2,000, 3,000 plus. Because for that 5 days that you'll be sleeping at the hospital, you're paying for the bed, you're paying for everything. So then the question people keep asking is that what is the essence of NHIS? Because if we have NHIS, and then the whole notion about NHIS is covering a percentage of what you'll be paying at the hospital. And then it's not covering it. Then what is its essence? So I feel like this new health free primary healthcare initiative they are bringing on board is to just expand it and then I mean, help everyone have access to it. But my question is, how effective is it going to be?
And how achievable?
Yes.
Because we've seen issues with the NHIS.
Exactly.
We've had issues of hospitals. The way they even maltreat you. Sometimes you go and you are...
and then the maltreat is not part of the NHIS.
My dear, it's part. Sometimes if they see
part.
you holding the card alone, the way they'll talk to you,
it's not
because
part.
they know that, okay, so you are here, come to show me card for what? For healthcare in this modern Ghana.
So I feel like it is the government that is not telling us the truth. If they feel like the NHIS is no longer in existence, they should scrub it off. And they should create that awareness that NHIS is no more in existence. So you know that when you're going to the hospital for treatment, you've already planned. As I said, you should have like 2,000, 3,000 plus for your health. If you don't have that, forget it, because you go to the hospital. And so, as I said, a blood test or lab test can take like 1,000 cedis. The most painful aspect is that when they are done, they'll tell you, say, but you feel like there's something going on. So I feel like the government should be true to us and tell us that this is the main reason why NHIS is no longer in existence. It's either the government is paying it and the right authorities are not doing the right thing, or they are spending the money and they are not channeling the money into its rightful places or accounts. That is it. It's either the government is not paying it or the government is paying it and somebody is somewhere squandering the money into their own personal account. There are two things involved. But with this free health primary initiative, I just hope it is effective. But with the NHIS card, it cuts across all, not only government hospitals, even private hospitals. But mind you, private hospitals sometimes do not really pay attention to NHIS card.
Or they
hear them. Imagine the government pays them what they are supposed to take on behalf of NHIS.
Yeah. So the free primary health care policy will be officially launched on 15th. So maybe in the coming days, let me not just say maybe, in the coming days, you can go to the hospital to go and treat malaria. They mentioned preventive diseases and the minor ones, but the big ones, you have to pay for it. That one government will not take for it. Yeah. Let's move on to our next news item. This is from Global Info Analytics. They are back again with their polls. Asiedu Nketia leads NDC flag bearer race, but gap narrows. A new poll by Global Info Analytics shows that the race of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC flag bearer position ahead of 2028, is becoming more competitive. According to the poll shared by Musa Dankwa, Johnson Asiedu Nketia is still in the lead, but his advantage is reducing. In the latest results, Asiedu Nketia has 29% support, followed by Kistel Atoforsen with 19%, while Haruna Idrisu has 11%. Other potential contenders include Julius Debra and Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, who both recorded 8%. The poll also shows that 24% of respondents are still undecided, meaning the race could change significantly in the coming months. Compared to the previous week, the gap between the leading candidates and others has reduced from 16% points to 10, indicating growing competition within the party. Overall, while Asiedu Nketia remains the front runner, the narrowing margin suggests that the contest is still open and could become more intense as the 2028 elections approach. Bang bang. Asiedu Nketia is still on a thank-you tour. Is there a strategy of campaigning or, unveiling himself as an aspiring flag bearer of the NDC? This morning when I was listening to the radio from one of our sister stations, the host was actually angry and was like, if you go to the 16 regions, how many people know Atoforsen? Unlike the number of people that know Asiedu Nketia. So as it stands, the numbers or the percentage between the contenders, Haruna Idrisu, Atoforsen, and also Asiedu Nketia, the gap is quite small. And we have 24 people who have not actually decided. And as said by Musa Dankwa, in the coming days, What if they decide? Who are they going to decide for? So it's going to get intense as to who is going to represent the National Democratic Congress in the 2028 elections. Ms. Regina, your thoughts on this?
So everything shows Sedin Kitia is the best fit to represent the NDC in the coming days. Everything shows, but it wouldn't be surprising if probably at the end of the day, if NDC wants to declare who the next flag bearer is, we would be surprised, because maybe the way we are thinking, that is not how they are thinking. But with our own logic and with our own perception, why would they say doing Ketia and back on a thank you though in the first place?
He's still thanking the people.
Exactly. Why? And to me, or per logic, he's doing that to to gain visibility, in as much as it's already visible to the people. You are doing that to attract more people to you, to earn the trust of the people and also the public. So to me, he's a good fit because he has been chairman for the NDC for a very long time. He has been helpful to the party. He has made achievable, no, that's not the word. He has contributed significantly to the party, so I think he's a best fit. But as I said, we shouldn't get our hopes too high, because maybe the NDC can make a U-turn.
Floating voters. Miss Debbie.
The best person will be given the nod to lead.
Yeah.
The best person will. So we've seen instances where people were being pointed out as the capable one, the chosen one for a party, and then by the end of the day, the table turns, and then it becomes something else. So I'm not saying that what he's bringing out is false, but sometimes the table net misses some. So when you look at the NDC, there are lots of capable people in the party that can lead as a flag bearer for the party and possibly becoming president of Ghana. So the more reason why everybody is pointing out to Asedu Ketia, even if you are not told, you don't even need a prophet eye to see this. Everything shows his demeanor from since they came into power. I mean, we are done with thank you tour, but this man is still going on a thank you tour. He should tell you that he has an agenda. He keeps going to communities, addressing their concerns, addressing their challenges. I mean, assuring them that the president is capable of solving their problems. It should tell you that he has an agenda, because that's the whole thing about politics. When you want to lead, you cannot only be in the office. You have to go on grounds, okay? You sell yourself out, and basically that is what he's doing. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that he becomes the next flag bearer of the NDC party, and I'll also not be surprised if the table turns and then the ball is being hit into the court of another person, because there are some particular people in the party that for me they are capable enough as flag bearers of the party and possibly president of Ghana.
Thank you so much, Ms. Debbie, and thank you too for joining us on the Niche Review. Up next we have Today in History with Ms. Regina Bless.
Bringing you today in history on this day, 2003, the Human Genome Project is completed. The International Human Genome Sequencing Consortium announced the successful completion of the Human Genome Project, marking a historic milestone in biology. Initiated in 1990, the project was completed more than 2 years ahead of its original schedule, providing the first nearly complete sequence of the 3 billion chemical base pairs that constitute human DNA. 1988, the Soviet Union agrees to withdraw from Afghanistan. They signed the Geneva Accords agreeing to withdraw its troops from Afghanistan after a 9-year conflict. The withdrawal began on May 15, 1988 and concluded on February 15, 1989, ending the Soviet-Afghan War. This decision followed intense resistance from Afghan Mujahideen funded by the US and others. To some few global observers, Children with Alopecia Day, to raise awareness, build confidence, and celebrate the resilience of children experiencing medical hair loss. This day emphasizes that affected children are bold, and beautiful, focusing on community support over pity. International Moment of Laughter Day, to encourage laughing out loud as a vital stress-relieving activity. This day highlights that laughter is as essential as breathing, offering short-term benefits like reduced stress and long-term health and improvements, including boosted immunity. Next, Reach as High as You Can Day, as a motivational day encouraging people to step out of their comfort zones, overcome limitations, and pursue their highest goals in both personal and professional life. It is a day to stop settling for less and actively strive for or surpass your potential. Lastly, National Ex-Spouse Day, to encourage forgiving former spouses, letting go of bitterness, and moving forward positively. This day promotes focusing on the positive aspects of life and improving mental health after divorce, rather than dwelling on lingering anger or resentment. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear of favor. The head pastor of the Anointed Grace Prayer Ministry is in police custody for allegedly attempting to bury a 5-month-old baby alive in the Chima Imponia district of the Ashanti region. The suspect, Apostle Dr. Richmond Akwesi Frimpong, and his accomplice were arrested by the police in Bibiani after a community member raised an alarm. An eyewitness said at about 11 p.m. on April 12, he spotted a pastor and his accomplice at a refuse dam with a baby under suspicious circumstances. He said they approached them and realized the child was still alive, prompting him to raise an alarm. Meanwhile, the chief linguist of Abofrem, Nanaya Obedu, said the pastor had earlier told him the child was dead and requested a burial site. He added that he was unaware the child was still alive. The police in Bibiani have since detained the suspect and his accomplice. While investigations continue, the baby has been taken to the clinic where it is receiving medical treatment. Since yesterday, I kept struggling within me whether to speak about this particular issue or not. But yesterday, we are going to speak about it. Now, I feel like as it stands now in Ghana, everyone wants to be a pastor. But this ministry, for me, it's a calling. Okay, you cannot just stand up one day and because you heard God calling your name in the dream, because you saw an angel in a white dress, means you've been given the mandate to become a man of God. Now, I'm saying this because we have a lot of people who are covering themselves. Okay, they are hiding behind God, or they are using the name of God to do a lot of things, a lot of bad things. And let me be sincere. People who are working in the ministry, who are sincerely called by God to do the work. Now tell me why a man of God who is so convinced that he has been called by God will take a life baby, to a refuse dam, and his intention was to bury the baby alive. And let me tell you, a lot of them are doing things like that just because you don't see them. And as I said, we have genuine men of God that are doing the work of God diligently. And we have people who are also cutting corners. And this has become so common that you wake up the next morning and then everybody is a pastor. Everybody is a prophet. Everybody is a reverend. Everybody is an apostle. And you cannot even differentiate between the real men of God and the fake ones. Now, this issue is a whole lot. The first question is, where did this pastor get a baby from? Because trust me, we don't have a baby tree where you go to pluck babies. Where did he get it from? Is it from the hospital? Did he buy the baby? Because don't forget that we have nurses in the hospitals that sells people babies. And then they'll come out telling you that the baby is dead. The baby is dead. You cannot even have access to your own child. There are instances where allegedly we heard that some men of God buried pregnant women. And then they built churches on it just to gain the population. And you see, when I saw this story yesterday, one thing came in mind. I was like, it's not every child that you can use for sacrifice. There are some children that are, for me, I believe they are ordained by God. Like the hand of God is upon them. You cannot harm them. And as a human, like your conscience is dead. A life baby. You're going to bury a life baby. And I'm sure if he should have succeeded in doing that, I'm sure by 1 month or maybe 3 weeks, I'm sorry, and then you see people trooping in and out. Seriously. You meet someone and the person will tell you that, oh, make up pastoral school 1 month. He's ordained as a reverend. 2 weeks. And you know what? They even use all the title. Nipa Wako is called Reverend, Apostle, Evangelist, Prophet. Why? Don't we have institutions that control all this? See, let's be sincere to ourselves. Let's be so sincere to ourselves. In a way, you are mocking God. In a way, well, you cannot disgrace God though, but you are making the work kind of difficult, because trust me, a lot of people do not believe in church anymore. Some people are fed up. They are fed up because Obiaya suffer. And then yesterday I was showing a video to my colleagues where a whole church with sane humans, mentally sane humans, you walk to the pastor and then you take off your dress. It is, I don't know what the pastor is inserting into their private part. That I don't know. But you walk, when you get to your tent, you get to where the man of God is sitting, and then you take off your dress and the man of God will insert something. I don't know whether it's called spiritual purification. I don't know whether they are sanctifying you from manipulations or whatever. See, even the Bible stated clear that a time will come where we are going to see all these things. But at least sometimes you should use your common sense, should tell you that Even God who came to earth and died for our sins, did not perform miracles like that. Where in the Bible was it stated that God buried a live baby or a human or a pregnant woman just to boost their church? Where in the Bible was it stated? Where in the Bible was it stated that God injected something into private parts of women? Where in the Bible was it stated that God placed women in a very big pan and he was bathing them? This is becoming too much. Please, we are begging. The right authorities should take action. They should take action. People are doing, I'm telling you, people are doing things for the crowd. They are doing things. They are sacrificing humans. Just to, and it's not surprising. Sometimes when you even hear them preach, you can tell that this person, tell me why a man of God will be preaching and you mention a quotation that does not even exist in the Bible. And then you see congregations shouting hallelujah. Is it that we don't pray? Is it that we don't have personal fellowship with God? Like we don't read the Bible. Hi, Erade Castro. And Masisiao. Because when you come, you won't even get one person. And you know, sometimes I don't blame this man of God. And I just want to say, crusade be all day. I just want to say, you are there. Today they are giving you salt. Tomorrow they are giving you pebbles. Then the next thing they will say is that bring your undies. They are going to use it for a ye spiritual, a ye. Now also they are called. And then the man of God will tell that sit down, I'm bathing you. Then you are also sitting down. They are bathing you. Oh. Please. This incident that happened yesterday shouldn't be allowed to slide. This is not a case where somebody saw it without evidence. The evidence was clear. We could see the baby. And the pastor said he has no idea the baby was not dead. He said he has no idea that the baby was not dead. Please, whoever is involved, because I'm sure that the pastor did not take that baby from a tree. It's from this same hospitals now. You see, and so all those baby thieves and all, they have agenda. They have agenda. They sell those babies. You go to hospital and then you deliver and the nurse will come and tell you that, oh, we are sorry, you've lost your baby. At least you let me see the baby here. You are seeing like how. And then sometimes they just allow it to slide. And that is the main reason why when that baby thief was caught, I was expecting that she shouldn't be even granted a bail. But she was granted bail. Imagine we have strict punishment for these people. Such things will not happen. So we start using some people as an scapegoat. We will still continue seeing this. And sometimes you see people, this person won't even say, The next they will say a prophet. The next they will say a reverend. Or no, or a reverend. Or no, or a pastor. Or no, or a prophet. Or no, or a evangelist. Or no, or a... Please. Thorough investigations should be done. And everyone involved in this should be arrested. They should be used as an escape. I feel like God allowed it to happen because he wants some people to be arrested. You cannot be using the name of God and, excuse me, be fooling. But because we keep saying, oh, the grace of God abounds. Oh, so will you continue to sin? They kill people. They do a lot of bad things behind the scene, and then they come out preaching. I'm not in the right frame to judge. But what we are saying is that this issue should not be allowed to slide. There shouldn't be any bail condition in this. Oh. We are begging. They should be used as an scapegoat. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Someone needs to be used as a scapegoat, as Ms. Debbie mentioned. Thank you so much for joining us on the news review and also the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly, and right after the news, we'll be back with the second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, free primary health care to cost government 1.2 billion yearly. University of Development Studies Director urges focus on women in Ghana's agriculture. National Communication Authority emphasizes telecom standardization for consumer protection. Also coming up, Mansha Police Commander cracks down on traffic offenders to strictly enforce all traffic regulations. These and many more coming up your way shortly in business, sports, and showbiz. To our first story, the Minister of Health, Kwabena Mintah Kando, has indicated that government will need a minimum of 1.2 billion each year to implement its free primary health care policy, highlighting the scale of investment required to reform healthcare delivery across the country. Addressing participants at the Government Accountability Series, the minister outlined the financial structure supporting the initiative. The policy is expected to widen access to healthcare services for underdeserved communities. He explained that the government has already carried out a detailed costing exercise to assess the resources necessary for both the rollout and long-term sustainability of the program. This is said ensures the policy is built on solid financial planning rather than being a short-term intervention. According to him, the initiative has undergone extensive scrutiny with key stakeholders and health sector experts to ensure its design and implementation are realistic and effective. He added that the level of preparation undertaken gives the government strong confidence in the policy's success once it is fully implemented.
Done the costing, and we need not less than 1.2 billion Ghana cedis a year to be able to run this. So we've done the costing. So if you want by much, you can divide by 12 and you get a figure. So it's not an ad hoc program or project. We've thought through it, we've engaged widely, we've done our projections, and we know what we are doing.
The director of the Institute for Development Research at the University of Development Studies, Professor Joseph, stresses that policymakers should prioritize women in agriculture, recognizing their pivotal role in the sector. He urges the Feed Ghana program to fully integrate women into its policies, highlighting their crucial contribution to agricultural development.
I am Professor Bazami Joseph with the University for Development Studies, Institute for Interdisciplinary Research. I supported Action Aid to carry out a gendered analysis of the Feed Ghana program, which is the main flagship program under the agriculture component of government's programming. So we looked at the extent to which the policy was responsive to issues of gender. Women face a lot of problems within the agriculture sector, and they are very important and significant actors in the agricultural space because they dominate by far both in the rural and urban settings of agriculture. Now, any policy, before it can gain traction, must necessarily have women on board. And so we interrogated the policy to see to what extent it had relevant provisions for gaps that we see that are related to gender, such as land, access to credit, even the farmer service centers, the mechanization that is planned for these centers. To what extent are they incorporating issues of ergonomics that make the implements, the machines, and all that suitable for the use of women? And how is the policy also accounting for unpaid care work for women? And how is it also even making room such that women can conveniently engage in the relevant provisions of the flagship program? What we found was that there is the need for a lot of reform in the area of land, because that is the most basic asset that is needed by women to meaningfully engage in Feed the Ghana program. Now, that right, to a large extent, is within the hands of our traditional authorities. How is government engaging these traditional authorities in such a way that there can be better land reforms that can improve women's secured access to land to engage meaningfully? Also, a lot of financial innovation mechanisms have been put in place by the flagship program. One area that is of interest is how do we take into consideration the peculiar challenges of women in order that we can innovate around these financial mechanisms to get them on board meaningfully. That is another area. Then we are also looking at the fact that, agriculture needs more and more to be focused on gender transformation. We realize when we looked at the policy across the gender spectrum, we realize that it has gone beyond gender blind. It is gender aware, but only partly gender responsive. But what we want is that it should go beyond even gender responsiveness to gender transformational, because that is where we think better impact can be made. And so this workshop was aimed at us sharing these little findings with the cross-section of smallholder farmer women, and as well as people from the relevant regional departments of agriculture, to see how we can map forward the right advocacy mechanisms that are needed to get government to give us a listening ear in terms of the kind of re-engineer that is needed to bring gender very much on board the Feed the Ghana program.
The National Communications Authority highlights the importance of telecom standardization and safeguarding consumer interests and ensuring seamless connectivity. By promoting standardization, the National Communication Authority aims to guarantee device compatibility and curb the influx of substandard products into the market. This move, according to him, is expected to enhance the overall quality of telecom services.
So we are hosting the first African preparatory meeting for the World Telecom Standardization Assembly that will be held in 2028. The way the conferences work is that the regional groups collate proposals from individual countries and try to harmonize the ideas so that we also engage other regional blocks and see where we agree and what adjustments we need to make to our quality. So for this cycle, Ghana is hosting the first regional. The other regions are yet to meet. So we brought the rest of Africa here along with representatives from the other regions. Telecom standards are very important because that is what allows the building of economies of scale for a number of devices. You know, your phone is able to roam because of some of the standards we've adopted, both in the radio sector and also in the standardization sector. So standards are very important. They protect consumers from substandard devices. They also allow for scale in production. And that is why this conference is very, very important. And we are the NCA working with the Ministry of Communication to host this because we are also commemorating 30 years of the NCA in Ghana.
The Mancha Divisional Police Commander Chief Superintendent Frederick Hammond has vowed to strictly enforce all traffic regulations in the area, dismissing claims of extortion by some operators. Hammond emphasized that no bribes will be accepted from riders found violating the law. This move is part of effort to curb road accidents and promote discipline among drivers and pedestrians. The police commander has also cautioned against underage riders of commercial tricycles and will hold vehicle owners responsible for engaging teenagers in the business. The Ghana Police Service is also introducing digital enforcement to improve transparency, reduce human interference, and traffic management.
Minors, according to the road traffic regulation, if you can ride or you can drive on our roads, you should be in the minimum age of 18 years. And for commercial drivers or the riders, they should be 25 years before they can operate commercially. So, under no circumstances, minors should ride any vehicle on our road. So if anybody who is less than 18 years is riding or driving, it's an infraction. And not that person alone. The person who permitted this minor who is unlicensed to ride on the road is equally culpable with the law. So when the law catches up with them, they will face a court punishment. Normally they face fine. One thing that is also very important that we should emphasize is that if you don't have license and you cause damage or you cause harm to somebody, that can also become criminal in nature. We call it negligently causing harm or causing damage. And all the people who allowed these unlicensed riders or drivers to ply on the road can be also arrested for abetment because they assisted or aided these people to commit a crime. You also talk about the narcotic drugs. For the narcotic drugs, the Narcotic Commission Control Act, we have the act which was promulgated in the year 2020. It's also flouts on this. And whenever you have possession of narcotic drugs for use and you are arrested, you can be prosecuted in court and you can go in from between a minimum of even 10 years to 25 years. And people who are also assisting them, abetting these crimes, also face similar punishment. So we all entreat the parents, and especially people who give their pragya and these tricycles to people without checking the background of these people, without checking the documentation of these people in terms of license, before they give to them, they are equally contributing to the carnage on our roads. So we entreat all of them to do the needful, to be more.
In similar developments, the Ashanti Regional Chair of the National Union of Tricycle Operators, Seydou Mumbarak, acknowledges that some of their members contribute to road chaos, citing a need for stricter checks by the Driver, Vehicle and Licensing Authority before issuing licenses. He advocates for regular training to improve operators' behavior on the road.
As we always complain that tricycle operators are jumping traffic, they don't follow rules and regulations on our road. Yes, we admit those things, but we also know where the challenges is coming from. If you are a tricycle rider and you go to acquire a license, they don't take you any training at all. So what do you expect that kind of person to come on the road and do? He doesn't know what he's doing. And that is why we recommended to the MUSEC that they should take us through a capacity training. I believe that that could help reduce accidents and then also prepare our riders to know how to go about their business on daily basis. If we continue doing this sensitization, I believe that we can have a safer route, safer operations of tricycle in Ashanti region. We have been able to register our members, compile a data, substantive data, to know our riders, and in due time we will be issuing them with stickers to identify our members on the road. So in case a rider flouted the laws and the sticker is on the tricycle, if you report the person to us, we will take the person through the laws of our land. We will not make that person to come and destroy our business image or to tarnish our image, to say. Yes, we have been doing so, but the challenge we have is that tricycle operators happens to be like, if they don't hear from authorities that it is authorities who are calling them. As a union, when we call them, it is always difficult to get people to come and listen to whatever we have for them, because they believe that the assembly or the authorities have a power to force them to come to a meeting. But we as a union, we doesn't have that power. So we will not let it stop here. And that is why we are taking the data. Our regulation will be to identify our members on the road, give them a reflective jacket with a number at their back. In case you sat on a tricycle, you leave your goods or luggage on it. When you are able to identify the number, we will be able to identify the rider. And we are doing it in municipal basis. If Tafu municipal is using red, Asokoro Mampong will be using blue. And that is why we have put in place so far. We are also looking out to set up a task force to monitor and ensure that our members obey the traffic regulations. Yes, the minors, that is why I say we are setting up a task force to look on that. Because what we always experience from this our police is that an underage rider is being sent to a police.
In business, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers has proposed a temporary 50% reduction in the energy sector shortfall and recovery levy as part of a broader set of measures aimed at easing fuel costs for consumers. The proposal forms part of a statement released on Friday, April 10th, in response to the government's ongoing review of taxes and levies within the petroleum price build-up. According to COPEC, the suggested cut from 1 to 50 pesos per litre will deliver immediate and tangible relief at pumps, lowering fuel prices by 50 pesos per litre. The chamber argues that this intervention would significantly reduce household expenditure on transport and energy, while also easing mounting public concern over the possibility of renewed power outages. It maintains that beyond consumer relief, the proposal offers a strategic balance for government. By retaining half of the levy, authorities will still secure a stream of revenue to support the energy sector and keep power plants operational. COPEC notes that this will help avert the need for costly emergency power procurement while sustaining industrial productivity and protecting long-term tax revenues. However, COPEC acknowledged that measures is not without trade-offs. A 50% cut in the levy would reduce funds earmarked for servicing energy sector debt, potentially slowing plant maintenance activities if the intervention extends beyond the proposed 1-month period. The chamber therefore stressed the importance of limiting the reduction to strictly temporary time frame. The proposal is part of a broader package of short-term intervention designed to cushion consumers against rising global petroleum prices. COPEC insisted that the one-month window strikes a balance between immediate economic relief and fiscal prudence, allowing government to manage modest revenue shortfalls without triggering long-term disruptions in the energy sector. The chamber further argued that such targeted and time-bound measures demonstrate responsiveness to public concern while maintaining critical sector stability, urging policymakers to give urgent consideration to the proposal. To sports, the Ghana Football Association has appointed Carlos Queiroz as the new head coach of the Black Stars following the dismissal of Otuado due to the team's poor performances. The decision was finalized after the Ghana Football Association Executive Committee meeting, where 3 shortlisted candidates were considered. Sources indicate that the association has since presented Carlos to the government as the preferred choice to lead the national team forward. He is 73 among 3 high-profile coaches interviewed by the Ghana Football Association on Friday, April 10th. As part of a rigorous selection process aimed at restoring confidence in the Black Stars setup, the Portuguese tactician brings a wealth of experience to the role. He previously managed top national teams including Iran, Egypt and Colombia, and also had a stint as head coach for Real Madrid. He is widely respected for his tactical discipline and defensive organization, having guided Iran to multiple FIFA World Cup appearances. His appointment signals a shift towards experience and structure as Ghana looks to rebuild and prepare for upcoming international competitions, including the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This year's tournament will be hosted across the United States, Mexico, Canada, with Ghana drawing Group L alongside Panama, England and Croatia. In showbiz, Ochiame Kwame is confident about winning the Artist of the Year award again. He won the award back in 2009 and is currently nominated for the Telecel Ghana Music Award with his song Inshallah featuring Kim Paluta. Ochiame Kwame attributes his success to having a good management team, bringing fresh content and learning from others. He's been in the music industry for 26 years and is determined to change the narrative by dropping a massive album this year. Ochiame Kwame's previous wins include Songwriter of the Year and Music for Development notes at the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. On Global Update, Pope Leo begins an ambitious 10-day tour of 4 countries in Africa, urging global leaders to address needs on the continent where more than 1/5 of the world's Catholics live. The first U.S. Pope heads of Algeria for 2 days before continuing to Cameroon, Angola and Equatorial Guinea in a whirlwind tour to 11 cities and towns traversing nearly 18,000 kilometers over 18 flights. The Pope is making the visit with a mission to help turn the world's attention to Africa. Cardinal Michael Sensny, a senior Vatican official and close advisor to Leo, told Reuters. The Pope, who has emerged as an outspoken critic of the Iran war, has made only one big overseas trip since being elected last May. Visiting Turkey and Lebanon in November, he visited Monaco in March. Leo, aged 70, relatively young and in good health for a pope, is undertaking one of the most complicated tours arranged for a pontiff in decades. More than 20% of the world Catholics live in Africa, according to Vatican statistics. The 3 sub-Saharan nations the Pope is visiting have populations where more than half identify as Catholic. Algeria, though, is an overwhelmingly Muslim country with under 10,000 Catholics among its population of some 48 million people. This is the first time it will host a Catholic Pope. Leo's tour is the 24th by a Pope to Africa since the late 1960s. He is expected to touch on many topics in 25 planned speeches over 10 days. Vatican spokesperson told journalists, given that 4 nations face diverse issues. Likely topics include exploitation of natural resources, Catholic-Muslim dialogue, and dangers of political corruption. Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea have presidents who have been in power for decades and have been accused of human rights abuses. The biggest event of the itinerary will likely come in Cameroon on Friday, where the Vatican said some 600,000 are expected for a mass in the coastal city of Douala. Comfortable in several languages, Leo is expected to speak in Italian, English, French, Portuguese, and Spanish during the trip. Landing in Algeria in mid-morning, Leo will address the country's political leaders before visiting the great mosque of Algiers, and only his second visit to a mosque as a pope. He will travel to Annaba on Algeria's northeast coast for a visit to the ruins of the ancient town of Hippo. The site has special meaning to Leo, who is a member of the Augustinian religious order. The order is inspired by the teachings of 4th century Saint Augustine of Hippo, a major figure in the early church. And that's it on the morning news update. Do want to log on to all streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio, as well as logging onto our website at www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news updates. I am Deborah Dawson. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to your radio. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
When you guy, what it? John, when you guy, what it? A boy now when you alright, Busia go by the name Coin Takra. Call me, say you're Coin Takra, then your time it's Coin Takra live on GhanaTalks Radio now. Mondays and Fridays, may the time it's Coin Takra. When you say Monday, then day. Aya mamere abakwasem Africa, Ghana, our heritage. Eka mamere ni amani yeteti abakwasem hon komoni yedi. Aya hina ni yekoni now Friday ni ye bass on bass. Friday yeah rap. We dey talk about entertainment. We dey talk about music business. So join me this Monday and Friday. BR Live on GhanaTalks Radio. Don't forget, so before all the social media platforms, like GhanaTalks Radio and Coin Takra. Me so me page and so Coin Takra. Now listen, a better fire, a better job our GhanaTalks Radio. Don't forget, so me download the app on the Play Store and the App Store. Call me, your time it's Coin Takra Monday and Fridays. Jinamudi will be a mammy time enough at 7 p.m. sharp. Yeah, the Jumadi bro. Here, call me on your guy, on your Guy, what him? Saviete sika, yafanko to benza.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries,
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, and as you know it, we come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to be delving into the issues. They are going to be sharing their informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on Ghana Talks Radio, right here on the Breakfast Show. This is the only online radio station you can carry along wherever you go. You're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to log on and let's get interactive on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. My guests are well seated and they can't wait to delve into the issues for discussion this morning. We have the singular honor of having Mr. Samuel Okain, the NDC Communications team member, and also Mr. Abdul Mutalib. The rest of the name, I cannot pronounce it. I'll leave it for him to pronounce it himself. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Oh, I'm fine. It's been a long time.
A very long time. Mr. Okain, yes. Where have you been?
Oh, I've been around.
Around?
You know, the party has been deploying me to other stations, so sometimes my friend will call me and I'll be like, I don't have time. And the day I have time to, he will tell me he has already
called somebody.
So today, yesterday, he called me and I said, no, it's been a long time seeing you, so I have to come here today. So I have to call my boss and tell my boss that no, I have to go and see my wife at Ghana Talks Radio. It's been a long time.
I see. It's good to have you back. Yeah, it's good to see you as well. Mr. Mutalib, how are you?
Oh, we can't complain.
You can't complain.
How can you complain?
Do you have anything to say?
You don't have anything to say. When the economy is doing so well, what are you going to complain about?
Yes, we can't complain because a lot of things that we were being promised as Ghanaians, as we sit, we are not seeing top.
You are not seeing top.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you were promised that you are not seeing top?
For example, yesterday I saw something and it was I saw.
Kindly be audible for me.
Yes, I said. For example, yesterday I saw something that I think it was I saw.
What did you see?
At Kwame Nkrumah cycle, where national security officers have to take some commercial drivers to their offices and brutalize them. They beated them.
What did they do?
For what they alleged to have done was that they were charging the commuters exorbitantly.
Were they national security or task force?
They were national security.
Which uniform were they in?
The national security uniform.
Which one? We have the police, we have the immigration.
Not the main national security.
So what's the color of the?
It was
it black?
Not black.
Blue, black.
Something like somewhere brown.
So how did you know their national security?
No, I was actually at the office there. I have a sister.
Okay.
I have a sister who works there. So I went to pick her. When she closed, I went to pick her, and I saw that.
Okay.
She's national security of personnel. So it's very sad. Even though we might have issues that
they were beaten.
They were beaten.
Brutalized, as you mentioned, simply because they were charging more.
I'm telling you. So the question is that the government, the NDC people promises? Can't they have proper negotiation with these people? If I have to buy my car, decide how much I charge, then you think that it is causing the citizens. Sit me down, let's have proper conversation, but not to tell me that you will beat me upon what I hustle to buy.
Well, Mr. Abdul,
so we can't complain. We are just there. Even yesterday, if you follow, you realize that Baba Amando was arrested over what they describe as mock of the president, that he mocked the president. Meanwhile, that was what their current CEOs and what have you, and some of the ministers did to the past NPP administration. And nothing happened to them.
Why didn't you?
They walk free. Anything? In fact, for example, lawyer Martin Kwebo thought that NDC government was going to be free like NPP government when he started talking anyhow.
But that doesn't
and then they arrested him.
You should disturb public peace.
I'm saying that so those days it wasn't disturbing public peace.
But what did you do about it?
About what?
What did you do about it when you saw that the NDC as in opposition was actually doing something, mocking your the former president?
No, we felt that it was freedom of speech. Oh. We felt that there was. Look, let me tell you. If somebody says that, oh, for example, Malik Basantali posted on his Facebook that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was doing haram, and then they kept the picture in this form that he was holding this pig head on that paper.
And
that is what is freedom of speech. He should be allowed to express himself
and to make mockery of the president.
Yes, he should do.
And you think it's fair?
So why today? If he Malik Basantali as National Youth Authority officer today sit and doesn't see that thing to be right, why were he doing it yesterday? He's part of the government.
Well, I think the responsibility of the government.
For me, I'm saying that
should have taken actually action if they knew that what they were doing is bad. The fact that you condone it doesn't mean that this current.
Okay, so what you are saying is that practice what you preach.
Condone it.
Practice what you preach. If NDCP member had not done that, we wouldn't have problem seeing them arresting innocent Ghanaians. But if they had done something, then people saw that what they did is right. In fact, they taught the people that this is mocking president was right.
But you know,
so why did they think that today is wrong?
You know, there was a country where they mocked the president and the president was given life imprisonment.
We are talking about Ghana.
But how different is Ghana?
I'm saying that country? We are talking about Ghana. The individuals who are now crying about mockery, they were those mockery yesterday. Why can't they tolerate what they did
Mr. previously? Okay. Is there anywhere in the constitution that states that if you make mockery of a president or if you disturb peace,
doesn't
say anything? It's not related to any article in the constitution.
We are working with people with different characters. We are working with people from different backgrounds, and we cannot suggest or we cannot assume that whatever somebody does automatically it should be associated with the president or the party in power. It is just like a police officer bullies somebody on the road. Then because MPP is in power, I will say that it is the government that has given the police officer the mandate to bully the driver. So these are normal issues that day in, day out, we keep hearing those things, that security operatives are beating people. At a point in time, Kalikuda, was he not beating for mere picture taking? We saw all those things. Kalikuda, we saw people beating him, national security operative beating him because he took a picture at a place where they claim he's not supposed to take a picture there. So what I will say is that everything that has been enshrined in our laws, or everything that has been stated in our constitution, if you violate it, there should be punitive measures. I am against the fact that my brother, in fact, I haven't heard anything like that, but I'm against the fact that as a security officer, somebody goes contrary to the law and then you beat the person instantly, because that is not what the law says. Because it is only the court that can decide. Even though sometimes when such decisions are taken, they add punitive measures in the law. But to beat the person instantly is against the law. But one thing you should know is that these transportation charges and all that, as soon as new prices are set, it is backed by law. So if you go contrary to it, it means that you have broken a law and you have to face the full force of the law. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yes, but I am against the fact that, according to my brother, some security operatives were beating the drivers. I haven't heard anything about that, and I wasn't there to witness it myself. But I'm against that fact. But that does not also mean that the drivers are right. Because when new prices are set, government doesn't set the price alone. That negotiation you are talking about has already happened. There is no way new prices will be set without the consent of the drivers, who happen to be the major stakeholders. Every day I've been saying that GPRTU is one of the institutions that is failing the Ghanaian people. Sometimes when I'm moving from my house to, let's say, this place, you see, when I pick a direct car coming here, less than 10 cities I'll get here.
You get here.
But because they want to extort money from me, they will pick me from my place, drop me at Ablikuma. Then the same car will pick me again, take me different money and bring me here.
So you're going to one location, you're paying like
these are
3
real
times,
issues.
and it's very unfair.
Knowing very well that Ghana, we don't have that kind of price standardization mechanisms.
Not at all.
We don't have those things. So the drivers, they should be disciplined enough and take the suffering of the ordinary Ghanaian into consideration. That at the end of the day, the motive of the government, whether MPP or NDC, the motive of the government, and he said, Nipa no benya ahonto na brabom. So if the government is putting up initiatives or mechanisms to ensure that you, economically, you are a bit relieved, and then there is a driver somewhere who is also ensuring that the peanuts you are getting as a result of fuel price reduction and all that, is also finding ways and means to take it. It is against the laws. I don't support the fact that national security operatives are taking the laws into their hands. But I'm also not in support of the drivers
also
charging fares above what the government and the GPRTU has come in.
But as it stands now, we can't really tell if they are really from national security, because
no, I'm telling you on authority.
But
you see, when I say that, I'm telling you.
I get you.
Please, I'm telling you. You know, let me tell you.
Mr. Abdul,
security apparatus.
Listen to me, Mr. Abdul.
Security apparatus.
No, Mr. Abdul.
Let's get it clear. Don't say that we are not sure. I spoke, and I'm telling you that I have a sister who is working as national security operator, and I went to the office to pay. It's not like somebody told me the story. So if you say that you are not certain, it's like I came to just speak without knowing what I'm talking about. If they were police, I would have stated that police. If they were military, I would have stated military. If they were fire service personnel, I would have stated fire service personnel. But I'm telling you that national security operators, and at the office, I specifically mentioned the place at a Kwame Nkrumah cycle. So what is it that you are saying that we are not sure? I'm telling you that this is why there is so. And it's not bad. Like it's not good. Like my brother said, the price they're talking about, before the price set and then other things, the GPRTU sit with government. Yes, but is it a price that has been said that they want them to confirm with? No, they're only asking them to reduce the price that was already increased, and they have not agreed to reduce it. So you should continue the negotiation for them to agree that they will reduce the price. You saw the other day VIP people, when they announced their price increase and they said they were going to have meetings with the stakeholders, the minister. They insisted that they should come and they asked the journalists to come to their station and witness what will happen.
So according to you, it is the government that has mandated the people.
Yes. So what is so the national security operators are working under direction. Directive that
President Mahama.
Oh, don't we have national security operation at the presidency?
So it is the president.
No, I'm saying that. Oh, can president do everything? Can president? Let's be fair. Don't say that. Madam, don't say that.
So I saying that the president is actually
so you want to tell me that?
What
So you want to tell me
happened
that? You want to tell me that? You want to tell me? No, I'm saying that they work under directives.
So they work to go and beat people.
That is what I was told. I asked them.
I
asked them, and they told them that that is the operation. Not only my sister, even I asked the officers there.
That meeting.
I asked
when they were mandated
I don't know.
beating people.
I don't know, but what I'm not.
She's equally part of the beating.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm not.
If you were there,
I have not isolated my sister. I have not isolated anybody. I said national security operators.
Then she must be fired.
Are you getting me?
If you were there, and
yes, all of them should be fired.
Supervise the beating.
All of them should be fired. I don't care. Yes, I'm saying that. I'm saying that. Look, let me tell you something. These people,
they've been beating.
I'm saying, look, if somebody sit here and tell you that the national security operators operate on their own, that is highest spec of ignorance. The president appoint the national security, what's the name? The interior minister, under whom's administration, this office, the national security is found. So they don't just get up and do things the way they want it.
So we should accept that the government mandated them to be beaten.
Yes, you should also know that these bodies actually work independently.
Of what?
They work independently
of what?
On their own, so they don't wait for the president to give them instructions.
Beating people or something. You are working under me. Then I delegate powers to you. Now go and maybe go and do road inspection or something of that sort. I may not necessarily mandate you to be beating people, but when you go there, something may pop up. You are a human being, and you may take certain actions, which may not be necessarily stipulated in the laws that we are using to work. So now that the situation has come as Ghanaians, what we have to do is that we have to look at the issues at hand and do investigations into it. Were they beating the people by their own decision, or like my brother is saying,
they were
instructed to be beating the people? But for us to make assertions that the government has decided or the government has mandated the national security operatives to go and beat people on the street, you are being mischievous. Do you get my point? You are being mischievous. No government, not even the Wiki, the Bufado government, will mandate national security operatives to go and beat people. Sometimes these officers do things.
No. Which
that is what I'm asking you.
No, the driver in this country will not accept for you. Will not.
Mr. Amdo, please let me listen to him.
She also supervised the beating. After supervising the beating, she couldn't take any action in defense of the drivers. But what she could do is to tell you that you should come and see
She wasn't the one. She wasn't the one. I saw it and I asked them, please, don't allow her to narrow the conversation to one person. I only explain to you how I got to notice that. I getting that. It is not only my sister that I inquired from why such was done. In fact, she wasn't even there before she came out from office.
All right.
I asked the officers outside there.
Please, let's proceed.
So you don't tell.
That is not actually the topic.
But what I'm saying is that the driver today, who was beaten yesterday by NDC national security operators. How can you tell that I'm saying that the national security operators, we all know that they are recruited by government.
If they are recruited by government, do they have
it's not permanent. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. They recruit their party boys there.
But please, when you come, or if you are given the opportunity to pass out an information, I believe that it is fair for you to give the right information.
Madam, was it fair? Madam, was it fair? Madam, was it fair for you to allow him to say that the Nanado government is wicked? Was it fair for you to allow him to say that? So that's my opinion too.
And you
think that's my opinion too. I'm saying that you allow him to speak his opinion. I cannot speak my opinion. Really?
But you can't say that that person is an NPP on NC. Wow. If it happens like that, you are misinforming the people, which is bad.
Wow.
Right. Let's proceed.
Anyway,
we are looking at our first topic, and that is free primary healthcare policy. Government has introduced a free primary healthcare policy to remove cost barriers. So government has announced a new policy to make basic healthcare services free for all Ghanaians at the primary level. And the Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta Akando, says the free primary healthcare initiative will remove financial barriers and improve access to essential health services across the country. Under the policy, services as CHIP compounds, health centers and polyclinics will be provided at no cost. This includes preventive, promotive, and basic treatment services. According to the minister, the goal is not just to treat illness, but to focus more on prevention by bringing healthcare closer to communities and households. To access the service, individuals will only need to show a valid Ghanaian ID. The program will also be linked to the National Health Insurance Scheme, helping to enroll more people who are currently not covered. And this policy is expected to significantly expand healthcare access and is scheduled to be officially launched on April 15th, 2026. So this is a new initiative the government is bringing on board, which is the free primary healthcare policy to remove cost barriers. And as the Minister of Health stated, that this is not going to replace NHIS, but rather is going to expand it. Right, Mr. Okai.
Okay.
What is this whole new policy all about?
The whole issue about the policy, that it is a good news for the people of Ghana, and it is a good news for some people who cannot afford basic healthcare needs. We have a section of Ghanaians who find it very difficult. You know, sometimes when you take the health insurance card to hospitals, you are required to pay certain things. So I think this new policy that has been introduced by the government, it is not just a campaign promise, but just like you read, it is an expansion of the national health insurance policy. And this is how it works. You don't need money before you go to a cheap compound or a clinic to have a treatment to a sickness like malaria and some other things. And I can say on authority that this is an expansion of the National Health Insurance Scheme, which was introduced by the NDC administration in 1993, and it was piloted in 1997. And I have all the National Health Insurance Scheme. I have all the documents here, and I can send them to you to read. You see, when we talk about this free primary healthcare policy, it is something that is coming to liberate a lot of people. Well, we have a section of Ghanaians living in deprived areas, and they cannot even afford certain things when they go to the hospital. And the one thing about the policy that I like so well is that you don't need the health insurance ID card before you can have access to this policy. All you need is a document to prove that you are what? A Ghanaian. So by so doing, I think a lot of people are going to be captured into the Ghanaian, the government health net, and people are going to have free access to whatever it is. You see, when we talk about health, it is the NDC administration that has always contributed massively to our health needs of this country. Just like I said, look at free health insurance policy. It was introduced by an NDC administration in 1993. If you read the 1993 J.J. Rawlings's State of the Nation's address, he said it, that the government is going to introduce a national health insurance scheme. In 1997, his State of the Nation's address, he stated again that it will be piloted in Eastern region. But after the pilot, the year 2000, MPP came to power, and I'll say that President Kufuor also did well by implementing the policy. And today, MPP people are all over to see that the free national health insurance policy was brought by them. You see, MPP as a political party, I am sure they are against this particular policy, but it is a party that has not contributed anything to our health needs as a country.
Which is the national insurance?
National health insurance scheme, when they came, the arrears of national health insurance scheme when they came was 1.2 billion. we were thinking their campaign promises and the way they chastise the Mahama's administration, that Mahama is not investing into national health insurance scheme and all that. When they come, they are going to revamp the policy so that the Ghanaian people are going to be liberated from their health needs. At the end of the day, when they were leaving power in 2024, the national health insurance was owing about 2.4 billion. So what was the contribution? What was the NPP's contribution towards national health? Let us look at hospital infrastructure. President Mahama constructed Legon Medical Center. President Mahama constructed a lot of polyclinics, even in at my area. The rehabilitation of the rate, transforming it from a hospital to a regional hospital, the Wa Regional Hospital, the Kumasi Military Hospital, the Fomena district hospitals, and all that. And it is so surprising that the NPP administration promised to construct 111 district and regional hospitals, including psychiatric hospitals. By the time they were leaving office in 2024, they've not been able to complete even one. In fact, the 3 that they claim they have completed, you go into it and there were no equipment. And you can't build an empty hospital and call it a completed hospital. Every hospital must be equipped with certain things. Every hospital must be equipped with equipment, like things that the health professionals will be using to work. So when you put up the structure and there is nothing in it and you call it a completed project, to me, I see it not to be what? Completed. And one of the most interesting issues about the Agenda 111 is that government estimated that that hospital was going to cost 1.5 billion US. So by 2024, the Nana Addo administration has already invested $400 million into the project. And out of the 400 million investment we made as Ghanaians, if you want to calculate, we should have been counting about 22 Agenda 111 hospitals completed and equipped with health requirements. But you go there and they only completed 3. The reason why I'm saying we were supposed to be counting 22 Agenda 111 hospitals is because one of the hospitals was estimated to cost around 70 million US dollars. One? Yes, one was estimated to cost 70 million US dollars. So if you divide the 400 million US dollars by the 17, you are supposed to count around 22 to 23 Agenda 111 hospitals. But at the end of the day, it was only 3 which they claim they have completed. Today, nobody has been held accountable for that loss. And when you complain, they will come and play propaganda around the whole show for it to look as if they have contributed massively towards our health needs. So I always say that any good thing that has happened to this country in terms of health, it is either was initiated by an NDC administration and completed by an NDC administration, or it was initiated by an NDC administration and then completed by an MPP administration. Today, if my brother can subject me to proof, if he can mention just one hospital that was started under their regime and completed under their regime, he cannot mention just one. Do you get my point? So if you look at the contributions of President Mahama towards our health sector, I would say that the NDC administration has our health needs at heart. It is only for propaganda reasons. That is why people will come and say that, oh, President Mahama is not doing well, President Mahama is not doing that. But I can tell you on authority that President Mahama is working, and this new policy that has been introduced, it is coming to help Ghanaians, it is coming to help poor people, it is coming to help the rich people. In fact, it is something that is coming to help everybody, including the MP people. So this is a policy that we must embrace. Yesterday, I was online and then I posted something about it. The feedback I will get in my comment section is that the guy said he works at a cheap compound and he knows that the policy will not work. And I was like, wow, you the person that is working there. Yes.
Did he state why?
Yes, he didn't say it. He said it is a lie, it will not work, because the only reason he said was he works at a cheap compound, so he knows that it will not work.
It will not work.
What is your motivation? What gives you the impression that the policy is not going to work? So all I will say is that the policy is not just a campaign promise that has been fulfilled, but it is a policy that is coming to liberate the Ghanaian people from our basic health needs. And as a people, the only thing we can do is to support the policy rather than playing propaganda around it to look as if the policy is not achievable. Anything under the sun is what is achievable. So the only thing we can do is to cooperate with government so that we will have some of these policies. Because these are some of the things people are crying for. That we live in a country where we have oil, we have gold, we have cocoa, we have everything. Yet we cannot pay our hospital needs, and it is true. Today, President Mahama has expanded the health insurance into Mahama Care. Certain diseases that the health insurance couldn't cater for. Today, those diseases attack you, and then the Mahama Care will cater for those things. So I would say that President Mahama has done well, and anything good that has happened to our health sector in this country was either initiated and completed by an NDC administration or initiated and completed by an MPP administration.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Okain. Mr. Abdul, this is another promise from the NDC and it's set to be officially launched on 15th April. Do you think that this particular initiative is actually achievable?
Well, Madam, thank you very much. I think my brother has done his part with the usual propaganda and championing of misleading information to the good people of this country. As far as records and history is concerned, when you mention NHIS, nobody, even today, age 6 child in this country, who by then wasn't born, knows that it is the policy of His Excellency John Ajokun Kufuor. And you can't take that one away, whether you like it or not. Look, from 93 as he suggested, you have an idea. From 93 as he suggested, you had an idea, and you couldn't implement it. From 93, just an idea, and you couldn't implement it. Up to 2000, it's not infrastructure; it's just a policy. So this is just complete falsehood. Give the credit to whom deserve it. President Kufuor, I'm saying that President Kufuor deserve the recognition. He just want to cover up by saying that you piloted and you couldn't implemented it. You piloted a policy and you couldn't implemented it. Let's move away from there. Full of contradictions. My brother here said that we didn't complete a single hospital. Just so in his submission, he mentioned that we completed 3 Agenda 1 hospital. Whether the facilities were well equipped or not equipped, your basic statement here is that we completed 3. That alone is enough. But you are asking how many hospitals we completed as government. Let me tell you. Maybe you don't know. Continue with your research. From Ghana Web. This was posted, I think that was 27th November 2024. Look at the list of, I cannot read all, but let me mention the district hospitals that the MPP government started and completed. 1, Akontumbra District Hospital. 2, Bogoso District Hospital. Elibo District Hospital. Mpofo District Hospital. Tolong District Hospital. Nsawam District Hospital. Wasa Dunkwa District Hospital. Weta in Volta region District Hospital. Swala District Hospital. Bupe, His Excellency John Dramani Mama's Hotel District Hospital. Swami District Hospital. Then to just mention but few.
Those were the hospitals.
And even Mansu Nkwanta, like so many, even there were some other hospitals that were expounded. Just as he mentioned, you started the University of Ghana Medical Center, but go and see the infrastructure that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia administration added there. That alone proved to you that all your statement is being falsehood. And you people, the least talk about you, the better. You nearly, before we came in 2017, you nearly collapsed National Health Insurance scheme, that policy that His Excellency John Ajokun Kufuor introduced. You came and then you almost collapsed it. You also left debt. We inherited a lot of debt. In 2017, when we came, we inherited a lot of debt from your previous government. And then, that notwithstanding, That notwithstanding, we brought His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia brought a lot of ideas. He brought a lot of ideas to support the health system in this country, and I'll be taking you through that. But what I like about his submission is that he said they are coming to expound national health insurance policy, and literally what it means is that it's not the introduction, it's not something new. So what credit do you want us to present them for? Is it just making allocation of funds for them to add more diseases to it? Look, let's even be circumspect on this particular introduction of free primary care that they are talking about. We introduced free dialysis in this country with the contract of 2 million Ghana so US dollars. When it expired and these people came, instead of you to make allocation to it, the minister boldly said that nobody should think that something like that exists. That the contract has expired. All the policies, including free SHS, have you ever seen an amount apart from those that they enact, they make bills and then pass the bills at the parliament? Have you ever seen them make allocations to a particular policy, and after the exhaustion of that particular budget, they don't make another allocation to it? So if this government cares a lot, they should be thinking of making allocation to sponsor free dialysis policy that was introduced by this government. But that notwithstanding, he's talking about big interventions when it comes to health. We're in this country. When we talk about the health personnel, bringing up health personnel, motivation of them, we have to talk about what the NDC did, unprecedented. The nurses allowance that was cancelled, we restored it. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's led administration restored it. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia thought through and said that some people were struggling. Some people were struggling to get to hospital. So there was need for him to introduce e-health so that you can even access healthcare without visiting the facility. All these ideas were started. Instead of you to come and improve on them and expound it, you left it like that. You remember the medical drone delivery system? You remember it? They chastised it. They came. In fact, Honorable Sam George went on his tour, and then when he piloted one drone, he was laughing like he has seen what he has never seen before, and that was worldwide, unprecedented across globe. In fact, it's even now that the United States of America is trying to introduce that policy of using drones to support medical delivery systems. Putting that aside, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said that instead of you to be roaming up and down to search for drugs in pharmacies, let us bring the pharmacies on one platform. That is e-pharmacy platform. And they brought over 2,000 of them. Instead of you to expound it, you left it, and you are talking about expounding our policies and wanting to take credit.
Right.
Putting that aside, we came and met 37 active ambulances. But what do? We introduced one constituency, one ambulance, and myself and you will know. We saw what the ambulances are doing in this nation. So if you are talking about health insurance, let's even put that one aside. When you remember those days, health insurance, if you remember, first, if you register, you could even use it to take care of like about four of your kids. You could use your own health insurance.
But is that the case now?
But that's not the case. You know why? NDC came, said that they were going to improve on it, and then they make it the universal what, and that was where the whole thing distorted. But that notwithstanding, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said no.
Your time is almost up.
Yes.
So you still haven't spoken about the main issue that has to do with if it's achievable.
I'm saying something. So our conclusion could be there. Right. So I'm saying that on what they are coming to expound and they want credit. You used to, for example, if your district health insurance office were somewhere in Accra, you needed to transport yourself from here to Accra to renew your health insurance card. But due to the intelligence and the brilliant policy or idea of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you can now sit and use your phone to renew it. It doesn't even it doesn't only save the cost, but it reduces the risk associated to these travels. You understand what I'm saying? So if somebody is coming to expound the health insurance policy that is already existing, it is commendable, but then NDC actions is questionable. If this is going to be done by NDC, it's questionable, because if the only thing they're going to do is that they're coming to make allocation of funds to sponsor that. Is that not it? But if they have records of not being able to make allocation of funds to sponsor already existing sponsorship of a particular disease that is killing millions of Ghanaians in this country.
And what decision is that? And what is killing the whole Ghanaian?
Dialysis. You know, people are dying through dialysis. So the contract expires. Instead of them to make allocation, just as they want to do to sponsor some other things like even malaria and other things, they were all part, except that the drugs, if it goes beyond a certain stage, that some drugs that was covering the health insurance. So if you are coming to make allocations to it, we expected that you should have, when you came, you should have made allocation of $2 million US to sponsor free dialysis policy, so that we can have hope that what you are coming to pronounce, these people they are good at making headlines.
But why did the free dialysis end under your administration? Was it because you left power?
No, it didn't. Yes, it's because we left power. It didn't just end. It didn't end. It was funds that were made. There was allocation of $2 million US to it, if I'm not mistaken. You understand? Then when they came, the contract expired. So instead of you to make allocation, did
the contract expire under your tenure?
No, when they came.
When they came.
So the minister, in fact, if this minister, the least talk about him, the better. And you sit here to tell us that you like health system when thousands of millions of the graduate nurse that you promise that you will give them automatic posting, announced it hopeless. They were there taking a selfie picture with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now they are hopeless in this country. You are telling us what? If indeed they mean business, they should recruit the health workers as they promised them.
Right. Thank you, Mr.
So for me, we cannot trust these people. At the end of the day, it will end with a lot of scandals.
Right. Mr. Okay.
Maybe my brother didn't listen to me well, and that's okay. I made mention that anything good that has happened to our health sector was either initiated and completed by an NDC administration, or it was initiated by an NDC administration and completed by an MPP administration. When he was talking, he mentioned one hospital I heard, I know a lot about it. He said Solar. That Solar District Hospital was started in 2016. In 2016, were you in power? In 2016, were you in power? I've sent the health insurance information to your 1993 and 1997 State of the Nation's address. When you read the 1993 State of the Nation's address, open to page 31, it is there. When J.J. Rowling said he is going to introduce a health insurance, in the 1997 State of the Nation's address, he also mentioned that it is going to be piloted in Eastern Region. Mind you, when you are piloting a policy, it doesn't take only 1 month. It takes years. That's why I said, when President Kufuor came, the policy has been piloted. The pilot was begun in 1997. So when President Kufuor came, he did well by implementing it. And I gave him that credit. You were here.
Yeah.
So for you to rubbish the entire policy to say that you introduced it, you are just telling lies. He then again mentioned motivation to workers, and then he mentioned the nursing trainee allowances. You see, we are Ghanaians. Let us tell ourselves the truth. The idea is that we are expanding our health needs. We are making sure that the Ghanaian people get proper health care. Motivation is good. Motivating workers to do more is good. But ask yourself, do we give monies, do we motivate people when we don't have places for them to go and work? Today, as we are speaking, the nurses that you claim President Mahama is not recruiting, some of them completed school in 2021 when you were in power. If you claim that you recruited them, you can go and check. If you claim that you recruited them, why are they still in the house not working? Because you failed to construct hospitals, and you cannot recruit a nurse and put him in a radio station to work. A nurse must go and work at the hospital. Yet you have squandered 400 million on Agenda 111, and the nurses are sitting in the house. And you are now blaming President Mahama, saying that he should go and recruit the nurses. Yes, it is the government's responsibility to recruit nurses. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if the facilities where they are going to be recruited to are not there, where will the president or the government recruit these nurses to? And that is why we have always found it difficult to recruit our nurses, because we don't have adequate hospitals to accommodate all the nurses that we are training. And that is why me personally, Samuel Lokai, I supported the nursing trainee allowance cancellation. Do you know why? A lot of people ideally wouldn't want to be nurses, but for some reasons
they found themselves there.
Yes, for some reasons they'll be like, oh, if I go to a nursing training, at least I can get the allowance and pay my school fees. And that is why we have a lot of people going into nursing training. If you check why allowances for teacher trainees and nursing trainees were brought, it was Kwame Nkrumah's initiative.
Yeah.
He brought that idea to motivate people to go into those sectors, because when the Ghanaian population began to grow, we needed a certain number of nurses, we needed a certain number of health professionals. So Kwame Nkrumah saw it that, no, for me to get more people, I have to introduce some motivation mechanisms, which the what we call it is part. The allowance introduction is part of these initiatives. So Kwame Nkrumah brought that idea to motivate people to go into these health sectors and then teaching sectors. But ask yourself, today we have trained nurses to the extent that some even complete school and they travel. Government spend money on them, training them. They will chop our allowance, and when they finish, because we don't have the hospitals available, they end up what? Traveling, which all at the end of the day brings cost to the government, and we will go for loan to pay some of these things. So I think cancelling that allowance, you can only blame the government for political expediency, but on the reality, from the reality perspective, it is only a good idea that we cancel it. Because if we have trained a lot of people, we have motivated people to go into a particular sector, and now we have trained them to the extent that their number is now exceeding the available facilities that will accommodate them. Where do you expect government to get the places to recruit those people to? So if government comes in to say that no, we have to cancel this motivation so that people will reduce the number of people who are going into nursing training, maybe after some time when we are able to construct hospitals and all that, and we can introduce motivations. You see, when somebody introduces a motivations are not permanent something. I worked in an oil company at Temalu. You know, there was a motivation, and sometimes when they see that we are not hitting our production target, the motivation will be scrapped off. When we are able to hit our production target, then it is brought back. So the assumption that motivations have come to stay, we have certain motivations that have come to stay. Assuming we are motivating our health workers, those who have been employed, they are working, and we are motivating them to do more. That one, you cannot take it out, because all the time our focus is that the Ghanaian people will receive that kind of good healthcare. So motivating the staffs, but motivating a student to go to school, the student to complete school and come and sit in the house with no hospital. Assuming you constructed this Agenda 111 hospital, imagine the number of nurses that President Mahama will be able to recruit. Like, we wouldn't be here having this conversation this morning. So you created the problem yourself, and then President Mahama is finding ways and means to solve the problem. And you, the same person, you are standing somewhere and you are criticizing the president. Who does that? Where are the Agenda 111 hospitals? Where are the 111 district and regional hospitals and the psychiatric hospitals? Have you ever asked look, when President Nana Addo Dankwa was campaigning in 2016, he claimed that nurses were taking selfies with president. Me, if I'm in a school and the presidents come there and I get the opportunity to snap a picture, I'm telling you, even when I am an MPP person, I'll take. Because we are happy to see our president. Were students not drinking Calipo with Nana Addo in 2016? And we are even lucky that in 2016, Nana Addo was drinking Calipo. Even Calipo, look at his performance. All the sectors. You are talking about health insurance. Health insurance, when you came to meet a debt of around 1.2 billion. When you were leaving, it was 2.4 billion. How come? How were you able to accrue that debt? Was health insurance in a proper position when you were leaving? And then you mentioned drones. What was the purpose of the drone?
Was to
blood.
Yeah.
The primary idea of MPP introducing this drone, whatever, in our health sector is blood donations and blood transfusion and all that. Like they will carry blood from here, take it to another. But at the end of the day, you were using the drones to transport condoms and paracetamols, things that were not included in the reason for which the policy was introduced. And that is what we criticize. Nobody will criticize development for crisis. Me, for instance, if you bring something just like just recently, President Mohammed's brother Ibrahim Mahama has given his private jets to the Ghana ambulance service. Why would I criticize it? Because at the end of the day, I will benefit, you will benefit, even Nana Akufo-Addo will what? Will benefit. It could be so if the policy has been introduced by MPP and the policy is yielding the resource for which it was implemented, I don't think any person in his or her right senses will criticize. But when you have introduced a policy with the mentality that this policy is coming to work on a book, and then you end up using the policy to work on pure water, are you achieving value for money? You are not achieving value for money, because the purpose for which you introduce the thing is not achieving. You are not using it for what you are supposed to use it for. And that is why we criticize it, but we didn't criticize that the drone policy is a bad idea. No. If you say that you are being mischievous and you are just saying it for your political expediency, nobody criticized the drone services because it has been introduced by an MPP administration. No. But at a point when drones, which has been designed, a policy that has been designed to transport blood, is being used to transport condoms, that is what we criticize. So my brother, I beg you, and I repeat again, anything good that has happened in this our health sector in Ghana was either initiated by an NDC administration and then completed by NDC administration, or started by an NDC administration and completed by MPP. I've not said that you didn't do anything. You mentioned a lot of hospitals. Right. And most of the hospitals you mentioned, you can attest to the fact that they were hospitals that you came to meet. When you came to meet Formina Hospital. You couldn't even complete within 8 years. You couldn't complete Formina District Hospital. I attended school in New Dibiasi. From New Dibiasi to Formina is just a short distance. So I know that area very well. We started building Formina District Hospital. Even Ashanti region is your stronghold. Mention just one major hospital you constructed for them. Right. Anything good that has happened in our health sector, I repeat again, it is either started and completed by an NDC administration, or started by an NDC administration and completed by an MPP administration. Then again, mention Legon Medical Center, that they have added some infrastructure. Yes, it is good. That is why government is a continuation process. And that is why I said it is either we will start it and you will come and continue, or we will start it and complete. So you saying that you have added infrastructure, you are just supporting my idea that we introduce the thing and then you came to continue, which is what is required of every government. That we should continue what the previous administration, that is what President Mahama is doing. Most of the hospitals, the roads and the things that you left, today President Mahama's administration has captured all under the Big Push program, and we are going to continue. And I tell you, by 2028, the Ghanaian people are going to experience good and a proper healthcare system.
Thank you, Mr. Okayo. What will be your reaction to this, Mr. Abdul?
Yes, Madam, I think my brother is continuing to force a lot of misleading issues or discussions to the hearing of our cherished listeners. He is speaking about Sona. What Sona is he talking about? That in Sona, somebody mentioned that he was going to introduce something. Just recent Sona, the immediate past Sona, is your president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, not caught with full of lies, lying that they have recruited 1 million Ghanaian youth. Sona. And is it even to right for you to conclude that because somebody said I will do this and do not do it, meaning the person is the one who brought who, if somebody do it come later to do it, it means the person, the one who said it first, is the one who did it? No. You see, let me tell you, as for the issue of nursing training allowances that he spoke about blah, 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 and said it was to motivate and what have you. Now we now have so many nurses. You see, let me tell you, nursing training students still need and still deserve motivation. If you understand nursing training students, what they go through, you will appreciate what I'm telling you. The nursing training students, they don't have that liberty to get free time to go and work and raise funds to support themselves, even if their parents are going to take care of them. If you observe and if you care to know, all the nursing training colleges, all the nursing training college students, when they are on vacation, they go to the various health institutions to have their medical, what's the name? Their, how do they even call it? They go to have their clinicals. You check. So what time would that nurse get to go and hustle so that he or she will get something on himself or herself to cushion the pressure on him on campus, whilst he's buying he has to buy some basic stuff like soap and other things. Unlike university student, when you are on vacation, you can find a place and go to hustle. But a nursing student, you are supposed to, after you are being given vacation, maybe they only give you 1 week to go and rest, or 1 week before resumption to go and to rest. But the rest of the vacation period, you are supposed to be at the facility to do your clinicals. So if you are telling me that we created problem, why would if you think that this is a problem, why did you come to say that you want to continue it? If you think it is a problem, why did you come to say that you want to come and continue it? And the issue of this drone system, you said you people didn't criticize. In fact, to the extent that some of your communicators said that they brought the drones to come and watch the nakedness of Ghanaian women. You can check. You see, if you are telling me that because the basic idea of introducing drone system was to transport blood specifically, and therefore transporting any other thing that relates to health is wrong, then I think you are not being fair to yourself and our listeners. You can have the basic reason for doing something, but the fact that you have basic reason, for example, this pen, I bought it for something that I wanted to use it for, but as today I'm using it here, it has use, that's why I brought it here. So if drones were introduced to transport blood, basically it's a transport of paracetamol. Is it not part of health issues? If you are transporting paracetamol from one health institution to the other, it's not going to take care of somebody's health. Wasn't blood going to take care of somebody's health? Condoms you are talking about, are they no use to prevent diseases? So my brother, let's be measured in whatever we say, because if you tell me that because it was going to be used for drugs, what's the name, blood transportation, and now it is now used for drugs transportation, it's wrong. Then you have problem. Because for me, as far as health is concerned, he spoke about the nurses that completed from 2021. Employ them, recruit them. When we came in 2017, we inherited backlog of nurses who were seated, in fact from 2013, who were seated without employee. You can check it. President Anado employed them. So what is wrong if you come to employ them? Nobody has said that you should employ a nurse to go to radio station and work. But we are saying that you can also complete our Agenda 111 project that we started and we were not able to complete. In fact, if you look at even Agenda 111 project, it wasn't like a part of our initial plans. It only came, the idea only came when we were attacked by external source. That was COVID-19. So within that short period, even though we anticipated, we hoped we could have completed them, but we couldn't. So complete them and recruit them. But let me tell you, you spoke about Ashanti region. Today, as we speak, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to commission the KNUST teaching hospital. Did you care to know who started it and then who completed it? And he's going to commission it.
So you completed it. And you
so I'm saying, no. You see, you are talking about a single project. You are talking about.
Maybe you didn't understand.
Let me tell you.
I use the word.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Starting
You see, you can complete something. You can
from starting and not completing.
You see, we completed it. I'm saying that we completed it. We completed it. When you mean complete, oh, was it all the projects that were completed under
when you complete
John Mama one administration that he commissioned? No, let me tell you, senior, allow me. If you complete a project, for example, completion of a project is when, for example, you have health institution, you have finished. There were some equipment left that the contractor is yet to bring, or maybe they bought them, they are yet to import them, they haven't come. All those things are not ready. They are completed. Funding and other things have been made and payment have been done. Everything is completed. But then when you are hesitating, you can't say that because you complete it and then you are waiting on some things to finish, it is must that you should go and commission it. Commission is nothing, it's just a ceremony. Commissioning of a project is just a ceremony. But the actual way is the construction. So if you tell me that we should mention a single project, and I'm telling you that in Ashanti region, I'm telling you that KNUST Teaching Hospital, your president today is going to commission it. It's the legacy of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Is he not MPP member? Was he not MPP born president? So my brother, you can make your claims, but as far as health issues are concerned, we know that NDC is far behind.
Right. Mr. Okai, how are we going to ensure that this particular free primary health care delivery is actually going to improve or deliver quality health care? Because something that is free there, sometimes they don't give it much attention.
We have a lot of free policies that has been introduced. President Kufuor introduced this free education at the basic level, and today
we have the free SHS. Yeah.
Why? Because Ghanaian people, we loved it.
Yeah.
We have never played propaganda with it, despite we will question some of the weaknesses of the policy. We have still supported the policy till now. Me, for instance, I'm a product of that thing. I attended site too.
Yeah.
Also from basic school, so I'm a product of President Kufuor's free basic education. Today, President Mahama introduced progressive free SHS in somewhere 2015-2016. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's leadership has also made it automatic free education, and people are going. Free education was having a lot of problems, as access, infrastructure, funding, and all that.
Yeah.
But by the grace of God, as we are moving forward, you can see that the complaints are coming down with the help of the competent President Mahama's administration. So what we need to ensure that this policy materializes is collaboration and support. MPP has constantly been in opposition about any policy that is introduced by the NDC administration right from the beginning of this our administration. On 4th March 2025, we organized an economic dialogue for us to come and sit at a round table and decide on our economy. This is our country. We don't have any place to go. No matter how you play the politics with it, you are still a Ghanaian. Whatever decision Mahama takes, even when you travel, you still come back. So anything that comes with economic decisions, whether you are an opposition member or whatever you call yourself or however you see yourself to be, you need to be to be there. You need to collaborate. Sometimes your criticism, constructive criticisms at the table can even make a change, rather than saying media and family home, I will not go there.
So they were not in attendance.
They didn't go. Ask my brother, they didn't go. And if they went, he can subject me to prove that indeed our people went. Even the first parliamentary orientation, which was organized in 2025, they didn't go because they claimed the thing was being organized in the Volta region and it was going to give the NDC a competitive advantage in future elections. So they didn't attend all these two important things. So sometimes when I see an MPP person criticizing the President Mahama's administration when it comes to economic policies and the economic improvement we are achieving today, I get worried about it. Something that you didn't attend, something that you didn't believe in, something that you didn't contribute. Why do you criticize? And when you mention inflation 3.3, they say it is settings. If you are telling me that inflation 3.3 from 23 to 3.3 is settings, then clearly you need a mental settings. Because you can't let me believe that inflation 23 is better than inflation 3.3. But what can we do as a Ghanaian people to ensure that the 3.3 is actually yielding us the results that we want to see? It comes with collaboration. So if we want this free Primary healthcare.
Yeah.
My brother, I don't. Maybe he has not lived in a village before. Me, I have lived in a village and I know how some people could struggle before they even get 50 Ghana cedis. And sometimes the way what I'll go through before I'll get 50 Ghana cedis, in fact, I'll end up going to the drugstore to go and buy para instead of going to the hospital to waste that. Yes, to spend that 50 Ghana cedis. So we need to collaborate. If you think you have any addition or subtraction, you have to suggest it to government. But to shoot the policy down and say that it will not work simply because it was introduced by the NDC administration is practically uncalled for.
Right.
So we have to collaborate and ensure we should do whatever we can do to ensure that the policy materializes and then it yields the results for which we introduced it.
How will this improve healthcare delivery, Mr.
Very well. We as minority, we have never seen any policy introduced by this government. In fact, NDC government. In fact, even the whole Ghanaian know that they don't have a single social intervention policy. That is true. And this particular issue of free primary health care, nobody is saying that it won't work. Nobody is saying that it is not good. We are only questioning. We are only saying that we should be careful about NDC speaking about these things, because if they really want to care, as they are camouflaging themselves, they should have committed another financial allocation or budgetary allocation to the free dialysis that a policy that was introduced by His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Nanado administration. Right? That is what we are saying. If you fail to do that, and you are coming to say that you are coming to expound the health insurance and then include some other diseases, we are worried. Really, you mean that today you mean that you want to care for me so that you pay my malaria bills, you pay my typhoid bill, you pay my maybe tuberculosis bills, but somebody was paying my dialysis bills, and you said that you are not interested. Meanwhile, when malaria, in fact, some people, due to their fortified immune system nature, they can even get attacked with malaria and work with it without anything. But you can't be attacked by dialysis and work with it without anything. That is what we're talking about. But on the issue of if he is talking about economy and then the inflation being 3 point, look, for me, if today, even if inflation goes to 1.1%, I would say thank God to thanks to President Mahama. But it will not make sense to anybody. It will not make sense to anybody who was buying this Vortic at 2 cedis, now buying it 3 cedis, when the inflation was 23%, 2 cedis. Now it is 3.3%, 3 cedis. It won't make sense to the person. It won't make sense to someone who transport himself from Accra to Ablekuma, paying 10 cedis when he used to pay somewhere 6 cedis or 7 cedis. Inflation was 23%. The person who used to a person who used to pay school fees at 1,800, 2,000 cedis is now paying fees close to 3,000 Ghana cedis under the inflation of 3.3%. So is this not certain? What is it? Pure water. Somebody who used to sell pure water buy a sachet under the 23% inflation, used to buy it at 8 cedis. Now he's buying it at 10 cedis, somewhere 11 cedis. You are telling me that your 3.3% is not certain. It's the reality. Really. Anyway, NDC, they are good at making headlines. So for me, what we, the minority, we are saying is that we are holding them accountable. We are going to remind them of all the things they said. If indeed they mean to say that they are fighting for Ghanaians and they want collaboration, they should be transparent. They should show remorse, because they have historical records of not being clean when it comes to some health-related or associated issues. A lot of scandals.
But Mr. Abdul, do you believe that we are our own enemies as well? Because tell me why.
In what context?
Because tell me why, if inflation is down and some people have actually reduced their prices, you go to the store maybe to buy a bottle of water.
It's consistent
For 2 cedis. You go to the next shop and the person is selling it for 3 cedis. Would you blame the government?
I'm saying that I'm telling you that it's unique. If you buy this one, assuming this is awake, if you buy it and go to the next store, it is going to be the same. Except that I'm coming. Except that when we are buying awake and somebody is buying Belacqua.
No, it's the same product, not different.
For example,
we are not doing it brand. It's the same product. Someone will sell it.
Another thing, yes. Another thing is that another thing is that the cost of transportation. Yes. Oh no. Let me tell you something.
The same product.
Oh, the cost of transportation.
And you are taking it from the same place, yes. And you blame
for example, you are taking your water from Accra to Awos or Ablekuma. Somebody is taking his water from Accra to somewhere to whom. Your cost of transportation and his cost of transportation is it going to be the same?
But
no, I'm asking, is it going to be the same?
But how would you feel that, let's take for instance, wherever you are coming from, maybe you are coming from La Paz and you pay 5 cedis. You are going back, you are supposed to pay 5 cedis, and they may tell you that it's 6 cedis. Would you blame the
bottom line?
Would you blame the government when you are picking it from the same?
I'm responding to you.
From the same
I'm responding to you. The bottom line is that under the watch of His Excellency Dr. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, these same things were happening, but media aided NDC to say that it was the government and not the Ghanaian people.
Right, let's proceed.
So why are we changing our stance today?
On to the next topic, and this is from Minority. Minority considers petition to Asante Hene over cocoa price cuts. The Minority says that it may petition the Otumfuo Osei Tutu II over concerns about the reduction in cocoa prices. And this is following a complaint from cocoa farmers in part of Ahafo region, who are saying that falling prices of cocoa and delay in payments are making life difficult for them. And speaking after a tour of affected communities, Minority Chief Whip and MP for Nsawam Edujiri, Frank Anodompre, said farmers are struggling to support their families and pay school fees due to the situation. Mr. Okai, haven't we moved past that? Why then do we have to go and involve traditional rulers or leaders?
It is good that we involve our traditional leaders in some of our matters, because if you want to talk about cocoa production, you cannot take the Ashanti region out. So automatically, for he being a chief over there, he being a king, he is a stakeholder. He will definitely have some cocoa farms. So I would say that Otumfuo is equally affected, just like the ordinary farmer somewhere who is also affected. But the fact of the matter is that MPP, since we came to power, they have tried to push certain issues to the truth of Ghanaian people, but the Ghanaian people are not accepting it, and they are not also accepting the fact that the Ghanaian people are not accepting it. And at this time, it has come to a time when the MPP as a political party need to sit back and then accept the fact that the Ghanaian people are now aware of certain things. It is politically biased for MPP people to assume that the President Mahama administration has intentionally reduced the price of cocoa just to ensure that the ordinary farmer suffers. We have been in this country. I have never seen a situation, unless my brother can subject me to proof, when the price of cocoa, the FOB price, was less than the farm gate price, but government insisted on the same price. It has never happened. Never in the 8 years administration of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. At all times, the international price will exceed the farm gate price, even though the international price experienced a certain fluctuations, but it never went down to the extent that it will go below the farm gate price. So since cocoa prices are not determined solely by Ghana, and it is determined by the international market and all the stakeholders that are involved in cocoa marketing, we cannot decide the price we can give to our cocoa solely, even though we are a stakeholder and we can influence the price decision making. But you can't decide solely that we want our cocoa to be priced this way unless we put up certain mechanisms. You take advantage of economic issues happening as a business person. Let us assume the Akufo-Addo administration was able to complete their one district, one warehouse. President Mahama can say that, okay, government is business, so I'm buying the cocoa at the current prices, I'll store them and then I'll sell them when the prices increase. But today, as we are speaking, those warehouses were not constructed. Yet we are expecting that president buys the cocoa and then send cocoa abroad, takes the money, and then when he comes, look for additional money and add it to it and give it to the farmer. It is good to cushion the farmer. Farmers suffer a lot in Ghana here. Farmers are not really getting what they are supposed to get due to poor transportation system. Every day I've been saying that. There was a time when MPP was in power. Our former agric minister went to one of the villages and then Koto about there, and he was like, this thing is 3 cedis. I don't know if you watched that video.
I watched that.
It could be true that when you go to the farm, indeed, that body is 3 cedis. But before the body will get to the market in Accra, just like my brother is saying, transportation, it is true. Transportation, if you look at the supply chain system, transportation is one of the most expensive cost contribution factors. Transportation. So if you don't have a multimodal transportation system, your goods are always going to be experiencing high prices on the market. So I believed in this President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo idea of building railway lines across the north and the south of our country, and then from our east to our west. I want my brother to tell me, apart from the one they constructed to Mpakadai, you should tell me the additional one that they were able to. Even the Mpakadai, they said they were going to continue to the northern side of the country. They couldn't continue. Now let us come to cocoa price. Cocoa prices are always determined by the international market, and you can't do anything about it. Today, as we are speaking, the FOB, the farm gate price, is even above the international market price, but the president is still paying. In 2016, when they came to power in 2017, the price of cocoa was 475. They maintained it. Even in 2024, at a point in time, the international market price went up to around 160,000 Ghana cedis, but they were giving the farmer 3,001. Assuming the farmer was supposed to be rich, the farmer was supposed to be rich under the NPP administration. Because when the farm gate price was, when the international market price was around 11,000 US dollars, the dollar here in Ghana was around 15 cedis. So if you convert into that amount of money, a ton of cocoa was around 160,000 Ghana cedis. And if you divide it by 16 bags of cocoa, you are going to get 10,000 Ghana cedis. Yet the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration decided to give the farmer 3,001. Today, as we are speaking, President Mahama came to meet 333,000 tons of cocoa that we have not been able to supply as a result of contract sales. When we say contract sales, government goes into contract with the buyers that I'm going to supply you with these quantities of cocoa at this particular price. So you sign a contract. So even when prices go up, because you have already entered into the contract, you don't have the right to increase your prices. We came to meet 333,000 tons of cocoa that has not been supplied by the Akufo-Addo government. Why? Simply because the cocoa production declined. They came to meet cocoa production around 900 and something thousand metric tons per year. When they were leaving, asking my brother if he can prove to, they were making around 600,000 metric tons per year. So cocoa production declined instantly, and that is why in 2023-2024 the price of cocoa went up on the international market, because you know the law of demand. The higher the demand, the higher the price. So since the cocoa are not coming and the demand is exceeding supply, automatically the price will go up, and it was like that. So if you bypass all these systems, if MPP is a good political party that thinks about the people of Ghana, I don't think Otumfuo is part of the people who set cocoa prices. It is good to involve them in our decisions, but what is the motive behind it? People want to engage in activities to remain politically relevant, and that is the kind of politics MPP has been doing since we came to power. Look at what they did to Galamsey. Always Galamsey, always Galamsey, until they themselves realize that President Mahama is doing well as compared to their administration in terms of Galamsey. LGBTQ. You got the opportunity to sign LGBTQ to become a law. You refuse. on the basis that when we sign it, we are not going to get loans from outside, we are not going to get grants, so you will not sign it. In fact, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, through his secretary, Nana Santi Bidie, on the advice of the Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, by then, wrote a letter to Parliament and even instructed Parliament that they shouldn't even bring the bill to his office at all. And at the end of the day, it was not signed. Today, the same group of people have come out to say that President Mahama should sign. When the bill has not even gotten to President Mahama's office, they claim that he should sign it by force. Do you sign something that has not gone through the processes of becoming a law? Hell no. So what I'm trying to paint is that the NPP is trying to base on mischievous tactics, propaganda to ensure to remain relevant in the Ghanaian political environment. If they really care about the cocoa prices, what they have to do is to go and see the international market who determine cocoa prices and tell them that look, we are Ghanaians and our farmers are suffering.
Rather than going to
going to Otumfuo, what will Otumfuo do? You just want to engage in political propaganda for Ghanaian people to know that you are doing something. And this is not the first time. Look, since NPP came to power, their only since they came to opposition, their only achievement for the people of Ghana is to organize press conferences, even in farms, about cocoa. You leave Parliament and go and stand in the cocoa farm after taking the farmers 7,000 Ghana cedis into your pocket as a result of signing a bad contract. Then you go to the cocoa farm to go and organize a press conference with the cocoa farmers, telling them that President Mahama has reduced the price of cocoa. Meanwhile, you are aware, a political party full of intellectuals led by an economist, and you claim that you don't know that cocoa prices are determined by the international market. What we have to do as a Ghanaian people is to collaborate with the president's decision to expand our cocoa production sector. That is, we are going to add value to the cocoa bean so that we can sell it at expensive price, and then the farmer is going to get what he deserves to get from the cocoa prices. But for anybody, write a letter, go to Otumfuo. Maybe it's been a long time they travel to Kumasi, so they want to go and visit Otumfuo. But nothing will come out from that.
Mr. Okan, thank you so much. Ms. Abdul, why have you decided to petition Otumfuo with the issue of cocoa prices being decreased?
For record's sake, we have not petitioned.
You are planning to?
For record's sake. In fact, I'm tense. Yes. When issues of farmers in general is discussed in this country, I'm always disturbed because I'm coming from a farming community. Even though in our case it's not cocoa. But I'll come to that. I think my senior brother, Mr. Sami, should show some level of remorse. At least he should show some level of empathy on our poor cocoa farmers. Without trying to look like he's now making mockery to telling MPP that they should go to international market to tell them to increase the cocoa farmers' price. I thought you could ask him why were they in opposition promising to give poor farmer cocoa price of 6,000 Ghana cedis. Even when their finance minister was appointed and subjected to vetting, he still affirmed it. Unless you want to tell me you are not aware of this, did they ever on any platform mention to Ghanaians that when they come to power and then cocoa price according to international market decide to give them huge amount, they'll give them 6,000? Did they mention international market determinants during their promise? The promises they were making left, right, center. Did they consider the international market? Did they know? Did they tell Ghanaians that they were not those controlling the market price? What dishonesty. What a disingenuous government. What exhibition of arrogance of power. Today, you want to tell us that if anybody thinks he want to fight for a poor cocoa farmer, the person to go to international market to tell them to increase the price of cocoa beans? My goodness.
But
when they were making the promises that they will give the cocoa farmer an amount of 6,000, they never said that when the price at the international market is either increased or reduced. They were being emphatic. Let's distance ourselves from international market. When you made your promise, we are holding you to accountable. when you made a promise, you never mention international market. Even if it was part of your consideration, you never mention it to poor cocoa farmer. What the poor cocoa farmer knew at that time was that they were going to vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and NDC to come to power and give them an amount of 6,000 Ghana cedi, and no negotiation was going to be talked about again. So don't come and then try to defend it in any direction. There is no amount of that defense that can come as far as your previous promise is concerned. We have always said that you people start something that you can't finish. You exhibit things that you cannot tolerate. You people, in fact, which people taught us how to hold press conferences in bushes? You people started it.
So you want to continue?
Oh, but why are you making it look like today is wrong? If it wasn't good, why did you do it first? You see, let me tell you something. When MPP said we are going to consider petitioning Otumfu Asante-Hini, it is not because we say that the Asante-Hini will come and then all of a sudden tell Mama to put all the money to give to cocoa farmers. But what we are saying is that this government has paid a deaf head, a hearing to the poor cocoa farmer whom they promised and then they voted for them to power. You see, don't let us narrow the issue to one direction. They went and bought. The issues are two separate issues that they want to merge, which can never be merged. They went and bought the cocoa price. They went and bought the cocoa from farmers at a certain price, that is 3,600 plus or 500 plus cedis, right? And they did not pay them 3,600 cedis, something like that. Yeah. Good. They went and bought that amount. That was the negotiation they had with the farmers. They failed to pay them. Came to sit in their offices, buy land cruisers for their CEOs and their staff, and then they refused paying the farmers. Waited until the price was cut, as they are saying, and they want to impose that cut price to a poor cocoa farmer.
But what
you see the idea?
Please, let me ask a question. Please, what is the purpose of going to the Otumfuo to petition?
So that's what I'm saying. Don't jump before the drum. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are two issues that they want to merge, which cannot be merged. They went to the farmers, told them that we are coming to buy your cocoa beans. And what was the price? The price was 3,600 plus. Is that not the case? Is that not true? That is the truth. You came to buy my laptop from me at the amount of 3,000 Ghana cedis. Sent it. And I'm seated hoping that you will bring my 6,000 Ghana cedis. Only for you to come and tell me that, you know why? I will not pay you 2,000 Ghana cedis. Who does that?
I'm still not,
and
I'm still not getting
the
objective.
Yes. What do you want to get?
I'm still not getting the objective of.
So you don't be quick. I'm making submission. I'm saying that we are considering that, and I'm giving you why we are considering that. So until I'm done with my conclusion, you will not understand what I'm saying. But what we are saying is that it's not just because they are coming with the cut price, but as we speak, even with the cut price, we are saying that even the price that the cocoa farmers are even saying that even the price that you have cut, we know that you will not listen to it. There's no way you will mind us increasing it, claiming the international price and what have you. But bring the cut price, give us our money. The government is not paying them.
So that's why.
That's why we are saying that it is good we petition Otumfuo to meet His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and tell them that, look, if you cannot pay these people their money that you promised them or you bought initially from them, pay them what you say you want to pay them. Because these people are not saying that they cannot pay their children's school fees. These people are saying that, in fact, the electricity bill that some of them that are proven to have light in their distance, they cannot pay their electricity bill because it has gone up by 24%. These poor farmers, they are going into another season, and they will need a lot of farm inputs. Have you checked the farm inputs prices? So we are saying that as minority, we will always hold this government accountable. So don't sit today and think that if anybody is going to meet Asante-Hini, it's just because the person has not traveled to Kumasi. It is insulting to say that. How many times that they want to travel that they cannot? But I'm telling you that these people, they are not just going to make a fun with Asante. They have tried all the means at the floor of parliament, at the various press conferences, and then even to extend the move to the field to meet the cocoa farmers to bring the feedback. Let me tell you, it's not just even the cocoa farmers. There are a lot, almost of every farmer is bitter. Is it the better Ghana agenda that they promise us? Now you are giving us the
promise resetting.
Is it the reset you promised us? You are not formatting the country for us. Go to Abuburishiya market. Yams, a lot of tubers of yams are stuck there. Nobody is there to buy.
Your time is up. Please.
With that short.
Wow. But did you see the time? Mr. Oka,
Madam, I think you should be fair to allow me to expose this NDC government on this issue. You spoke. My brother spoke over 10 minutes. I just started.
But do you know the time? Have you seen the time?
Look at the time I started. I was about to start.
You started 9:48. What's the time now? Don't you have 10 minutes equally?
I said he spoke over 10 minutes. Over 10 minutes. Look, so, I was about to start when this call came. So it's 10 minutes now. It's not over 10 minutes. I monitored this the time. So it's not over 10 minutes. So why do you cut me off?
So you think because your time is up?
Okay, now if you want to give me 10 minutes and give me more time, continue to do that. But I'm okay.
My brother spewed.
Mr. Okai, you actually have 2 minutes to finish up. Yeah.
My brother spewed lies, which I have to let him know the truth. One, the NDC government never promised that when they come to power, they are going to set the cocoa price at a fixed amount of 60 million. What Mr. Eric Opoku said during his vetting was that, given the current price of cocoa on the international market, anything less than 6,000 given to the farmer is a cheat.
It's a cheat.
Secondly, he said the cocoa beans which were bought at the old price before the price cut came, the president gave them the new price. It is not true. All those farmers whose cocoa beans were bought when the old price was in existence were given the same amount of money, just the government delayed in paying them. That is one thing he needs to know. And then 3, you see, the cocoa farmers and these cocoa issues, one thing that my brother needs to know is that if they have anything to do about it, they should channel whatever it is in Parliament House. If they know that the president of the day or the government of the day is engaging in a misconduct which is against the constitution, which is violating the right of the people, why are they leaving all the avenues available to them and then moving right to Kumasi to go and send a petition to Otumfuo, who is a traditional leader? Like I started by saying, I said it is good to involve our traditional leaders when it comes to making certain decisions. But there are areas that we don't need to involve them, especially when it comes to pricing of commodities. Otumfuo may be economically inclined, but this issue of cocoa international market price settings and all that, I don't think he will be involved. So even if you go and tell him, what is he going to do? And today, per the international price of cocoa on the market, I can tell you for a fact that the farmer is being cushioned with around more than 200 Ghana cedis because the price has dropped and the government of the day is still maintaining the 2,500 that we promised.
Right.
When you go to Cote d'Ivoire has always been used as a benchmark to measure Ghana's cocoa prices. When you go to Cote d'Ivoire today, what is the price of their cocoa? So like I said, the NPP people are just engaging in a mischievous conduct propaganda just to look relevant in the political space and tell their followers that, look, we are working for you. But in actual sense, they are doing nothing. What they are spending their time on doing, they should rather spend their time on reorganizing their party, because the Ghanaian people are discerning and we want intellectualism, not engaging in propaganda and mischief.
Right, thank you. Mr. Abdul, your last words on this particular issue.
Madam,
you have 2 minutes, so don't say that.
I wish you could have read through the whole thing, the whole report. If my brother here sits to say that they have paid them except that they delayed, it's false. It's complete falsehood. Let's be serious. Why are they complaining again? Why are our farmers complaining again? Secondly, if you look at the distance, the issue of raising that they should present the issue at the Parliament House. But unless you want to tell me that, you should have reminded him that the minority, to an extent that they sent cocoa seeds to what's the name, a Parliament House. Why didn't you remind him if he doesn't know? So is this not enough? If the president were actually listening, why didn't he listen? And up to now, the poor cocoa farmers are still saying that they are saying that the delay in the payment is affecting them economically, including the payment of their children's school fees. If they had paid them, they would have been complaining of. In fact, they are in new season now. They are waiting for government to pay them. And if you are talking about Côte d'Ivoire, which benchmark are you talking about? Côte d'Ivoire only reduced their price for the next season and not this current season. But you people went and looted, you went and scammed the farmers, bought the thing at 3,000, went back to pay, telling them that you will pay them 2,000. They are saying that bring the 2,000 to you, it's difficult for you. And you are sitting there telling me they've cushioned them with 200 Ghana cedis.
Right.
My brother, let's allow the sleeping dog to lie.
Right. Thank you so much, and thank you too for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Before we leave, your last words, gentlemen. Mr. Okay.
My last words are that I will send the Sona 1993
I have it.
and 1997 to my brother to read.
Okay.
I want him to accept the fact that government is a continuation, and like I started by thanking President Kufuor for continuing what J.J. Rawlings started.
Piloted.
So I want my brother to also read it, so that he will not go and say it anywhere that President Kufuor initiated health insurance. It was there before they came, but we have to give him credit for continuing the process.
Right.
Before I will leave, I would like to extend my greetings to my party people, the president, and then to the last person in the branch, and then my boss William Amenuvo, who is our deploying officer, and then Mr. Honorable Abuja Govins. He's working so much that I think the MPP are not happy with his works, so they are trying anything possible to smear him. Well, if he is able to execute what he has started, I can tell you on authority that the MPP is going to be in opposition for good. Because in Ghana here, one of the major factors that influence voting in Ghana here is road construction. And looking at what he is using the big push for, I tell you that if he's able to complete by 2028, MPP will have only 22 parliamentary seats in parliament.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Okay.
Good.
Mr.
So I think my senior man is still repeating what I think that Ghanaians know better, because all we know is that if you are talking about your road minister doing well, don't let us forget that he has made a whole lot of sole source contracts, inflated costs, to understand that the renovation, in fact, port patching is even expensive than the construction of a new road. That notwithstanding, I would like to thank the management of Ghana Talks Radio for the good work they've been doing, because it's not easy to manage a facility like this under the watch of NDC government because of the high rise in electricity tariffs. And I will also not hesitate to say that as minority as we are committed.
I want you to read this to my brother.
We are committed.
Yeah, I saw it. I just saw it.
Yes, we are committed to. We are committed to holding this government accountable. So we are pleading with the cocoa farmers to be patient with minority. As far as we are concerned, their problems, if not solved completely, but have solved. And the rest of the farmers, my problem is that let us not have so much expectation, even though we know you are disappointed. And finally, to say that good morning to the entire MPP leadership, ranging from the acting chairman to the last person, and also special greetings to His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his beautiful wife, in fact, the beautiful woman in the nation. Thank you.
The woman who used our money to buy makeup equipment.
Right. For the sake of clarification, cocoa farmers confirmed government payments for beans delayed since November 2025.
Being what? Machine being what?
Cocoa beans for payments for beans being delayed since.
I said
so
delayed.
payments
delayed. You said they paid them. No. He said they are paid them.
He said delayed.
Madam.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. You're
anyway.
not meeting two panelists, but
because he spoke it, he said it.
No, we are
my brother
speaking to the
said, my brother
facts.
said,
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll meet same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.